before we jump into the next one, here's a quick reminder for all of you mobile gamers out there. The ESL Mobile Open is just around the corner, so head over to Twitter right now and get all of those details. Tell your friends, build a team, and earn a spot in the finals.
Feel the light, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the wait's up. That's how we know when we level up. Ay, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. That's how we know when we level up. Yeah, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. It's time, get up.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the day 4 of the ESL Mobile Challenge for Brawl Stars. My name's AJ, I'm the Mustachio, and with me today, the one and only Uwu the Magical. Welcome, buddy.
Yeah, welcome. Yesterday we had a very good fight. I wish you were there to witness it.
Yeah.
But today itself is going to be very interesting because we will be watching a matchup against matchup, team versus team that I feel like it's more balanced. Yesterday it feels a bit more imbalance of a matchup, but today it's going to be a bit more balanced, and definitely the schedule is definitely going to be packed. It will be 4 matchup. It will be all 8 teams playing it out. But let's give everyone a refresher of the 8 teams that made it into today. Let's take a look at the 8 teams. Will be Iceborne from Japan, Zeta Division, Lil Moya G, and Crazy Lagoon. All 4 of these teams will be hailing from country of Japan, the land of the rising sun. Meanwhile, Team Flash, Covalence Reform, Asphyxia, and Kicks team, all 4 of them is from Singapore, based in Singapore, but they do have some of the players from Malaysia and even Thailand. So it's going to be very interesting. The appetizer, the starter of today is going to be interesting. The meat game itself, the meat matchup is going to be very, very strong. But let's take a look of the standings. What do you think about the standings, Mustachio?
I am absolutely shocked that this is exactly what Lil Moya G is capable of. And I'm disappointed that I haven't even been able to, properly shoutcast one of their matches. So I'm definitely looking forward to today. Seeing them up there winning each and every single one of their matches definitely surprised me. But the fact of the matter is they beat Iceborne 3-0. That's a huge shocker for me, Uwu.
Yep, definitely agree with you. Lil Moya G sitting on top with 9 points. No losers yet so far. Still quite clean up the game. Kicks team with 6 points, tying up with Zeta Division, Team Flash at the same score. Meanwhile, Crazy Lagoon, Iceborne, and Fixer is tying up with 3 points. Covalence Reform is sitting at the bottom. But talking about the Iceborne dropping the ball against Lil Moya G, it was a bit of a shocker. But Lil Moya G, the new kids in the block, no one kind of read what is their strategy. No one kind of know what is their game plan. So it's kind of out in the open, and it's kind of more of a rock paper scissors trying to figure out Lil Moya G. But with more of the standing, we want to know what is the game modes and the map rotation for today. The 6 game modes that always will be Brawl Ball, Bounty, Jam Grab, Siege, Heist, and Hot Zone. But the more important one is going to be the map rotation, the map pool for today. All of the 8 teams, they're going to play it out, and this is going to be the map pool. They're going to start it out on Siege, on some assembly required. Bounty on Purple Paradise. They're going to move on to the third one. Could be a deciders. Brawl Ball on Super Stadium. If it is forced to the 4th and the 5th game, it will be Hot Zone on Ring of Fire, and then it will be Heist on Pit Stop. So 5 map rotation compared to yesterday was slightly different. Yesterday it's more of a chess game. I was
Yeah.
talking to Victor about it. It's more about map control. It's all about how you make your initiation, you make your move. But this will be the matchup of today. Covalence Reform going to start out against Asphyxia. Leo Moyaji going up against Team Flash. Stack game over there. Third game as well is quite stacked. Zeta Division going up against Iceban. Then closing things off, it's another stack game. Totally today is really about matchup. Kicks team going up against Crazy Lagoon. It looks so nice for today. And AJ Mustachio, what do you think about the matchup for today?
Oh, I'm just shocked that Crazy Lagoon actually managed to take a 3-0 against Team Flash yesterday. So I'm looking forward to that final matchup. If they're able to take down Kicks as well, Crazy Lagoon this time around in comparison to the previous season, definitely a team for us all to look out for. I think we can definitely expect them to step it up. And it's just absolutely crazy as to how well these Japanese teams are doing in the competition. But on that note, Iceban seems to have been struggling recently, right? Yesterday, they did take up a match. Iceban, they lost to Lil Moyaji. That's the shocker that I was talking about. I wasn't expecting that, Uwu. What went wrong there, do you think?
Just talking about Iceban, it's a bit of shocker, but they did their best. They did what they can yesterday. But just going up against that matchup against Leo Moyaji is just something unexpected. But we will start off the day with Covalence Reform going up against Asphyxia. I feel these two teams, they made it through blood and sweat. They did their best, but they're going to go up against each other. I think they will be more familiarized with the strategy, the game plan. But to sum it up about Iceban and Leo Moyaji just went in perfect execution, perfect game plan, and Leo Moyaji stands on top. Covalence Reform, this time they have to prove themselves with Roses, Awfully Bad, and T-Res. This is going to be the lineup from Covalence Reform. The top picks and ban is going to be Max Search, Ash. Meanwhile, they don't like to go up against Ash because they know what's the potential. And Byron, we have seen how a meta ban is onto Byron, knowing how supportive is this brawler, is able to heal up, is able to do a bit more damage from the back end. But Asphyxia, on the other hand, you don't count the new kids in the block. This is the team that has to consist of Thai players, Malaysian players, and also Singapore players. Humanitomo, Primax, Secondary, and Twice. These four players, they have talent, they have all the experience, but I think a lot more to learn. This is going to be the top picks and ban. Tara, Rico, and Spike is going to be the picks. Meanwhile, Buzz and Brock is one of the top bans that they do want to avoid. And definitely, this is going to be information for the side of Covalence Reform. They definitely want to take away the Brock. They definitely want to play the Brock if possible, because we have seen, even though the Brock got nerfed, it's still viable due to the range, so it's still playable itself. So, just looking at these two matchups, Covalence Reform going up against this is the first matchup. It's going to be very interesting. So what do you think could happen? Could we go all 5 out as the appetizer of the day?
I think that's exactly what's going to happen, Uwu. I think we're going to be pushed all the way through to a, 5th match. I think Covalence Reform has got a lot on the line. They've lost all 3 of their series in here so far. And, Asphyxia, they're not in a better off position. Only one series won. Both will be desperate for those wins. Obviously, only one can get it. But I'm definitely expecting it to get pushed all the way through into that 5th matchup. Max and Tara is the banned brawlers from the side of Covalence Reform. Asphyxia will be taking out that Buzz and Ash.
Okay, just looking at the brawlers that they ban now, it's kind of interesting. Covalence Reform taking out some of the brawlers that can be up in your face. Meanwhile, Asphyxia just taking out Buzz and Ash. They know this is going to be a problem. They want to protect their backline. They want to protect the last line of defense. Is going to be one of the brawlers like Byron. It's going to open up to Byron being played, Collab being played out, and definitely Covalence Reform, Asphyxia, they're going to play it out. They recognize the issue. I think we have seen it being played out in play-ins number 2 itself. If I'm not mistaken, Covalence Reform, Roses on the Bus itself is just one main machine.
Yeah. Absolutely. And all throughout October, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you guys will be able to witness not just them, but other teams in the challenge season as well. Every Tuesday and Wednesday, mark it on your calendar. You can see exactly what they can bring into the competition as part of entertainment. If you want to see exactly what the pro players are doing in these games, so you can go in there and win and rank up for your own games, or even to just scout out exactly what the competition is going to be like if you are interested in jumping in for that ESL Mobile Open in Season 3 later on, Uwu.
Definitely. We have seen Superstar in Season 2. Season 3 is just going to be a surpriser because some of the teams is quite wide in the open. We have little less information about them, and going into Season 3 is going to be very, very interesting to see this kind of teams that is new in the block. Can they bring the ball game as we start off with Siege? This is going to be interesting, as you can see how Covalence Reform having the mid control, bringing in the Frank, and Roses picking a different brawler. Is going to be somewhat of a mirror matchup. You can see Awfully Bad and Secondary playing the same Frank. Surprisingly, they did not bring in the Stu.
Yeah. But, you know, I think that Frank versus Frank is going to be quite a good fight. But the Bali on the side of Covalence, so that is going to be, the Bali on the side of Asphyxia, that's going to be a huge problem for the side of Covalence to take on. Siege gets taken out of the equation even before, you know, more than 2% of damage can be dropped on. And now it's all going to be about those bulls. Covalence Reform picking bomb up now. And it's going to be Secondary that manages to snatch one away in the nick of time. Going in for the 4th bolt as well isn't going to be much of a problem for them, but it's going to be Twice who pushes Roses back. Beautiful sides, but Asphyxia should be able to secure this now, Uwu.
Definitely able to secure this, but Covalent still have the bots in hand. They managed to summon a level 6 Siege bot, defense coming in from the side of Asphyxia. They are able to slow it down and try to stop this Siege bot, but Awfully Bad, Roses, T-Res, they will try to figure out a way to move into the eye turret itself. T-Res jumping out into safety. Awfully Bad has to be a bit more careful. Oh, the slam comes in. Awfully Bad going to juke it out, but Roses goes in. But T-Res will be able to trade things off. Will be a 1-for-1. Will be the last Siege in 10 more seconds. Who has the extra, but it will be tied up. But Asphyxia has one bot. Finally, 2 in the back. They will get the third one in. This is going to be a level 9 Siege bot for the side of Asphyxia. Covalence Reform has to defend this. Roses, they are bringing in a different brawler. Just try to play a different meta going up against the side of Asphyxia. Secondary gets chopped down, but still holding on. But the bot is good enough as it hits. The damage comes in. The pulse in. Oh my god, it could be a one-shot knockout. What a fight from Asphyxia. They are able to pick up the first round of the first game in the first matchup. That is a good starter for the side of Asphyxia. Even though yesterday they had a bad game, today they are bouncing back real hard. They are telling all the other teams that are not going to be a team to be looked down under.
Yeah, absolutely, Uwu. And I think they will be able to back this if they can keep the pressure up. I mean, initially it looked like they were on the back foot, but, you know, turning things around was really solid from their end, right? And it was all about that Bali keeping their pace, keeping their distance away from the Mortis, because every single time T-Res went in there for the jump, you know he's going to be able to get the kill as well. So it's very impressive that Asphyxia managed to back away and at the very same time take down the very first siege bot that got sent their way and go back in there for the fight, especially when it mattered the most, right? Because we could see exactly what the part of Covalence Reform was doing with their Frank. They were taking down all of those defensive positions, and they were trying to, you know, just open up the map for themselves as well as that Mortis. At the end of the day, Asphyxia, I kind of feel they got a little bit lucky there because of that one, because of those 2 final bolts that dropped towards their end. Let's see if they can actually play that exact same stack, because I feel like the pressure on the side of Covalence was quite strong from the get-go. Round number 2 might go their way, Uwu.
Yep, definitely agree with you. Round number 2, it will be a bit more of a change-up, a shake-up from the side definitely they have to change up their brawlers lineup because it feels like they try to match up against the powerhouse on the side of Fixia, but I feel Covalence Reform, they have to switch things up. Roses this time will switch things up. Awfully bad will still stay the same, but T-Rex and Roses will be the one that switch things up. Wow.
Oh, a beautiful place. And now, i.e. one more shot and Roses was about to get taken down there. A double man push coming through. Frank getting away with his life. This is the kind of fight we want to see from Asphyxia. And now Covalence Reform. They should be able to put this pressure back on as T-Rex comes back online. But the Siege Bot level 2 not going to be too much of a huge issue for this Frank to take down. It has to come in with some backup from Roses, though. He's not. What a pullback from T-Rex. And that play to maintain those percentage on their own save. Now let's see exactly what they'll be able to do because they need to hustle to pick those bolts out now.
Yeah, definitely I believe T-Rex is pulling the right combination, able to defend the turret itself, but twice moving up front. T-Rex has to be a bit more careful. Awfully bad is there to support, but awfully bad has to make a run for it. Roses T-Rex from the side of Covalence Reform, they have to reset. They will be able to summon a level 5 Siege, but it will make a way. This is going to be the first assault from the side of Covalence Reform in the second round. T-Rex able to take down twice. They are going to move in. They are not going to open up the map that much on the side of Fixia, but they will try to spot the Siege itself. The Siege, but able to deal so much damage, but T-Rex still there, dealing the amount of DPS. Good enough, 43% left for the side of Fixia. Fixia has to be a bit more careful of this kind of assault coming from the side of Covalence Reform.
Yeah, but if they can pull off this particular push now, they should be able to finish off the match and make yet another comeback. Now Asphyxia picking up. They have 13th bolt. No, it's just going to be a level 12 siege bot, but they should be able to assist this monster all the way down and win this matchup. 15 more seconds now. Can Covalence Reform keep them back? Yes, they can. T-Rex once again pulls that bot back, and the defense is going to be solid. 7 more seconds in, Siege Bot gets there, the damage gets pulled on, but they win it. Covalence Reform manages to get it done.
Wow, what a bounce back from the side of Covalence Reform. That is the defense that they need, the support and the onslaught they need. I think the first round is more of a warm-up game. I think a lot of people take the first round as a warm-up game, assess the situation, assess the enemy itself, and look at how it's being played out. Covalence Reform did the best out of that situation. They came up on top of Fixia. They got shocked and all in that moment. They have to bounce back. They might be able to run with the same lineup if they want to. If not, they can bring in I believe they can bring in the Stu. I believe they can bring in a Stu. They can bring in Brock as well. If I'm not mistaken, Brock was not banned out. And definitely, it's going to apply a bit more pressure onto the side of Covalence Reform. And Covalence Reform has to be a bit more careful. But I love the support. I love the teamwork and the chemistry from the side of Covalence Reform. They always back each other up in the point of danger.
Yeah, absolutely right. And this was an expected turnout. We expected Covalence to be able to make a comeback there. Like I said earlier on, it feels like Asphyxia got a little lucky there with those final 2 bolts, which they managed to, take best use of. But this time round, Covalence, let's see if they can finish it off, because they just seem like the stronger side. I think they're not going to go in and change what's not broken. Earlier in that first round, it just felt like, it was strong, but a little unfortunate. In round number 2, they have proven that, this is the exact concoction that they want to present in these matches, and it's going to be something that's viable, right? And I think that Frank is going to continuously be able to put on a lot of damage there, and we do see that appearance of that Mortis, and I think Covalence Reform, if they can perhaps jump on in with a little less aggression at the start, they should be able to catch Asphyxia off, right? Because we see them doing this time and time again, taking the defensive stance first and then going in for that final push. If they manage to pull it off 3rd time around, they should be able to get it done.
Yep, definitely agree with you on that point. Like, play a bit more passively, just
Yeah.
play the map control, hold on towards the map, then later on jump in for the aggression, knows that you
Yeah.
have the opportunity, knows that you are able to see any of the brawlers from the side of Asphyxia out of position, picks one up, go for the next objective and make for the push, and if possible spawn out a siege spot and able to deal as much damage as they can. But Covalence Reform, they have to keep themselves on the toes because Asphyxia, they might be able to turn things around if one mishap from the side of Covalence Reform. They have to jump into round number 3 to see who will be able to take the lead and maybe clutch out the first game. It will be somewhat of a same lineup, but Asphyxia, they swap out their lineup a bit.
Yep, secondary, they are going to be able to go in here for the strong push, and Roses goes in for the stuff, but unfortunately he gets hunted down, and they'll be able to pick that ball. Oh no, he does not get hunted down. He managed to get away. Beautiful play coming through from Roses so far, and it's going to be the pressure early on from the side of Covalent Reform, assisting that level 3 siege bot all the way up, and that early damage is going to be possible. What a play from the get-go. But now, Asphyxia, they need to be able to recover this. They need to pressure up all of those Covalence players back and start picking those bolts.
Yep, a reset comes in for the side of Asphyxia. They have to be a bit more careful. Prime is getting a bit more to damage. Secondary on the run. He has to zone out Roses, but Roses is good enough to make a clear by Prime. XM, it will be brought down twice, sitting quite low, just soaking up the damage. It will not be good enough. Secondary will be alert, but oh, here comes Roses. Zone the Frank of another level 8 siege bot comes in hand for the side of Covalence Reform. They will be able to chop down consistent damage. It will be bringing it down to 25%, and Asphyxia last defense for them. They had to get the siege bolt itself. They are sitting at 2. Meanwhile, Covalence Reform has 4. Asphyxia trying their hard best, but oh no, look at how divide and conquer Covalence Reform are. They are able to zone out, they are able to capture, they are able to control the whole game tempo.
Yeah, I think Roses is that assassin that's just so effective on the side of Covalence Reform, which is just keeping Asphyxia back, right? They just don't know how to handle this guy, which is why I'm a little confused. They should have just kept their thrower. Barley would have been quite useful. Yes, Roses will be able to get the jump on him. You still do have your Frank in there just to back him up. They could have just gone in with a 2 versus 1 push, but it's a little too late now, and with 1% left, it is match over. Covalence Reform, what a comeback.
Yup, what a comeback from the side of Covalence Reform. Previously, they are called awfully, but this time it feels like, I don't know, just thinking about the placing number 2 that we were casting about, letting Covalence Reform, currently now renamed to Covalence Reform, through to the ESL Mobile Challenge. Could it be a mistake from the upper brackets itself? Because it feels like Covalence Reform could be a very heavy threat, because they wanted to take out Viral Reforge so that they are able to bring in maybe a much more easier target, a much more easier team. But I think we have discussed how numerous times about Covalence Reform being the team that can come back, being the team that is able to assess the situation and just turn things around. And yesterday, actually, Covalence Reform, they managed to take up 2 rounds away from Zeta Division. It was not a whole game that they off from Covalence, from Zeta Division, but taking 2 rounds away from Zeta Division is some very impressive. I would say it's super impressive to be called out.
Yeah, there you go. I love this from Asphyxia. They bring that Barley back in just to make sure they will be able to keep that pressure on. And this is what we're talking about. Go in there with that pressure, get that Frank to put up the defense, and we also need XMe to come in there and continuously throw all that pressure in. Level 2 Siege bot, not going to be a huge problem for them to deal with. They will be able to fire right back, but this is getting a little bit too close, and the bot manages to bring in 4% off damage. But it doesn't really matter. Asphyxia with the 3 bolts in hand now. They pick up the 4th. They need to make those strong plays.
Oh, Rose. Oh, so close, but T-Res will be jumping
One
in. Will be
more.
able to get 2 bolts, but awfully bad will be traded off. There will be a reset coming in from the side of Covalence Reform. They just need this round to able to collect the first point. Awfully bad joining back in. A reset comes in for the side of Covalence Reform of Fixia making a push. They will try to open up the mid side, but awfully bad will deny them, opening it up themselves. Here comes the pushers. Roses will be able to take down. One player will be taking down twice. Meanwhile, a siege bot of level 7 will be somewhere on the side. T-Res pulling twice in, but twice still alive. The bot still hitting on. That is good enough, but the Frank at the back end try to deal as much damage. Awfully bad will be sent back to the responder. Meanwhile, Roses and T-Res, they have to defend this last siege. Comes in 20 seconds. It will be a reset. A Fixer might be able to get this if they can hold advantage, but secondary gets hold down. It will be Kaita. T-Res picking up another one, but Roses picks up 2 bolts. That could be it. That's 8. That's 9. And that could be it. Oh no, that's a tie at the right timing. Oh my god. This is what a Fixer tried to clutch up, but the damage, is it good enough? Covalence Reform holding back. This is about brawlers versus brawler. Mano y mano. Can a Fixia turn things around?
Unfortunate for Asphyxia. I mean, no disrespect at all, but like I said, right, based on my assessment, that first round they got a little bit lucky with those final 2 bolts because it was just all out Covalence with the pressure, and I liked the first round a little bit more than the second. This time around, they do bring that Bali back, but you know, just not enough of pressure, and I think they got pushed back way too much. They were very much afraid to play those bolts. For understandable reasons. It clearly seems like the side of Covalence Reformed is slightly more mechanically sound in comparison to the players from the side of Asphyxia. But overall, though, I don't think they're going to be heavy hitters in the competition, right? I think they're just going to be more of that mid-bracket dominators, and they're going to be punishing those at the bottom as well. I think that's exactly what Covalence is at the moment within the competition, until they fix up a little bit more of their mechanical plays. But they're getting that rhythm already. I mean, they shouldn't have been able to drop that first match. I think that first round was the only round that made me have a few of these questions for Covalence.
Yep, our Covalence Reform, they still have 4 more series to go. This is the 3rd series. Sorry, this is going to be the 4th series. Yesterday was the 3rd series itself.
Yes,
so,
correct. Yes.
the 4th series, 3 more to go after that. They just need to make sure that they are able to maximize every single potential, maximize every single points that they can get, and maybe they can even clinch up to the 3rd or the 4th placing with that kind of play style. But going up to the top 4 is going to be a bit more difficult. Looking at the top 8 itself, looking at the 8 teams that we have, is super stacked. You have 4 teams from Japan, super technical about their skills. They are able to perform. We have seen how crazy Lagoon from season 1 to season 2, a transformation of how their game style is, and they are able to solidify themselves to be one of the best, and maybe to be able to take down Zeta Division or Lil Moya G. It could be a far-fetched, it could be too much for us to ask from them, but I feel like they have a potential. But Covalence Reform and Asphyxia, this is somewhat their first or second time coming in. This is going to be more of an experience. This is going to be more of how they are going to understand the game plan, how they're going to put up against the upper tier teams. And definitely looking at Covalence Reform, they might be able to give some of teams like Team Flash a run for their money.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's exactly what they're gearing up to do, right? I mean, teams like Little Moya G. Little Moya G is the one outlier of a new brand that is just absolutely shocking all of us. But in terms of exactly what Asphyxia can bring into this matchup. I think they definitely can step it up. It's going to be going down to those brawler picks. We did see them, panicking and bringing that Bali back in. They could have played that slightly better, but now this is just going to be an open fight between the two. And we've already, gone in there with the statement that the side of Covalence Reform is a little bit more mechanically sound in comparison to Asphyxia. This is going to be that map and matchup that will prove or disprove what we just said.
Yep, totally agree with you. Covalence Reform a bit more technical, a bit more higher skill level compared to Asphyxia, but Asphyxia not putting the guards down. They will try their best. This time, we will be watching onto Bounty on Purple Paradise. This is a bit interesting. Awfully bad. Picks up another one. That's a good shot, but a response coming from the side of secondary. It will be able to take down Roses, but awfully bad. Still have the Blue Stars in hand. Roses jumps in, but could it be that? It will be a trade of Roses take down secondary twice. Will take down Roses. This is going to be a bit more close, but Blue Stars in hand for the side of Covalence Reform. It will be a tie on the Stars, but Blue Stars advantage. This is going to be a bit bad for Awfully Bad. He has to be a bit more careful. Backs it up, gets the rest, gets a bit of kills up. But Roses will try to defend. The Kang is out. Defend Mr. President. That is Awfully Bad. Hiding at the right corner. 20 seconds left. But the projectiles comes in. Awfully Bad. Still holding on. This feels like a game of chess. Who make the first move might be able to capitalize it, but if they make the bad move, it will be the end of it. But no, it feels like Covalence Reform will be able, but so close. Secondary and XME went in for the last second. The damage was not calculated because it was just at the nick of time that the time runs out. So close for Asphyxia, but Covalence Reform, good play, a good way of holding the Blue Star as long as possible.
Yeah, I think you give it to the Piper's hand. She's just going to be able to pop off anytime, right? And worst case scenario, she just drops her move, flies out of there, and she's going to be safe for a little time being. But as I thought that was going to happen, she drops literally right in front of the opposition's Brock. That Brock gets the hit, and I think that's exactly one of those positions where we saw Asphyxia putting on that pressure accidentally on the side of Covalence Reform. So that was one mistake that Covalence made that Asphyxia kind of immediately capitalized on, and that's exactly what Asphyxia needs to focus on, right? Going in and capitalizing on all of those mistakes. They can't be making mistakes of their own. They need to back it up. But I feel like as long as they just keep a lookout for those, Covalence Reform, they will get aggressive, Uwu, just like what we saw happen. And they will be making a few more of these that Asphyxia can capitalize on.
Yep, I believe Asphyxia just need to be a bit more confident with their play style, with their game style, because I love how they want to go for the pressure, but they really need to fully commit all the way in. If they're going to trade their life, just go ahead and trade their life. It's okay for them to trade in the early stage. Be confident and jump in and go for the fight. But Covalence Reform, we are talking about capitalizing on those mistakes. But what a play! Covalence Reform made. Rose jumps in again and Asphyxia this time. They are the one that have confidence, have the map control, able to hold on. They take down Awfully Bad. Covalence Reform sounds a bit hard to them. They need to reset. They still have time, but that's a good trade. That's gonna bring things around. Blue Stars in the hand of Covalence. Asphyxia still has the lead by 2 stars. A trade off by Roses. Covalence Reform will be in the lead just because of the Blue Stars. But how long can they hold on? Asphyxia mounting up the pressure. You can see how advanced they are. They are pushing up. They are not afraid. They are going to trade life. They are going to trade body counts this time. They are going to give it all up. It's somehow going to be a mirror match between both teams. But who will be able to draw blood? Asphyxia will have the lead. They are at 14. Covalence Reform needs to bounce back. They have to push back. Awfully bad has to be a bit more careful. A bit low on health. But oh, Roses gets dinged. T-Rex gets low. No more time. 10 seconds left. Covalence Reform has to just go in for the trade. They will try to go for the trade, but no. 5 seconds. Out doesn't land, but oh, so close. The last second. Can they land the damage? Not enough from the side of Covalence Reform. Asphyxia will take things into a draw. Equalize the game. It will be a back and forth. We have seen it in the first game, second game, back and forth again. This is gonna be a very, very match-up game for these two teams.
I think that was the very first time I have seen Awfully Bad actually play very, very cautiously, right? Because we usually see him stepping up in front, aggressing on making those mistakes. And I feel like he checked his team and he did not want to be that person that gives away those stars early on. For the first time, I actually see this Viper playing so defensively, backing away. But at the very same time, that causes him to not be able to take a lot of those shots as well. So I think this time around, Covalence Reform, they're playing it way too cautiously. But it's exactly what they should be doing, right? Because they are checking themselves from those early mistakes that they made in that first matchup. So I think if they continuously do that, they should be able to pick these rounds up. Yes, it's 1 apart now. Awfully Bad this time around. Let's see if he can find a little bit more of those aims.
Yeah, definitely. Awfully Bad has to be a bit more careful. But talking about the Viper, do agree with you that Awfully Bad is playing a bit more passively, sitting at the back. But the moment if Awfully Bad moves out as secondary twice, pre-XME, they have their sight locked onto Awfully Bad, and Awfully Bad doesn't really have much. Look at that, 2 shots, and Awfully Bad is sitting at quarter, and that cancels it off. Awfully Bad has to hang back a bit more. Awfully Bad gets zones out so much. This is the problem. Oh my god! Awfully Bad living by the edge. Roses has to step out, and Roses is stepping out, trying to zone off Asphyxia. Asphyxia, here comes the advancement twice. Perfect positioning. T-Rex, you get one. That's a good help on the side of T-Rex, but Roses able to dodge that. Awfully Bad able to punish Asphyxia. They will be able to take the lead. But oh no, advancement mistakes after mistake. Asphyxia is not ready for the fight yet, but they are pushing up to the side of Covalence Reform. Covalence Reform will be able to capitalize this, but they have to be careful. But here comes once again. Roses just got juked out. Awfully Bad has to be a bit more careful. 8-7. This is going to be a defense, but Awfully Bad able to pick one up. Advancement 10-9. Close one 5. And they pick it up. Advancement will not be good enough as Covalence Reform picks up another point in the game. Can they close things off for 2-0? This is going to be a question for the side of Asphyxia. Can they defend this team of Covalence Reform where they are able to capitalize on all those small mistakes as you were saying?
Yeah, I'm just absolutely surprised that the side of Asphyxia actually dropped that, right? Because initially, I mean, first of all, this was a mirror matchup. We had the Piper, we had the Tick in there, we had the Brock going up against each other as well. The perfect combo comes through from that Brock as well as Piper. The Brock needs to go in for that initial damage. Piper finishes off that fight. And Asphyxia pulls that fight very, very well. That pulls that combo very well at the initial stages. And then I think that it was actually just an accident. They didn't really mean it, right? Because that combo was again and again and again pulled off by Covalence Reform, and it was absolutely working from then on. I mean, when you look at those sticks, it's all just going to be about the ultis. They're just going to be looking for those bombs, sending that head, hunting for that opposite side Piper or whichever side that's holding on to that blue star. And as I say that, it's going to be XME dropping the side of Covalence Reform's Piper, and they'll grab the blue star for themselves.
Yup, a good trade-off, a good timing from 3XM in. But Roses, you will be able to take down the Fixia's player. They do have the blue stars in hand, but Covalence Reform has the lead in numbers, so that gives Covalence Reform a bit of hit of a charge. They have to play a bit more careful. They can't just play the time, force a Fixia to move forward where they can capitalize on the mistake of overextending, over pressure, and Twice. Look at Twice's position. He's overextending it. They can punish him and they will be able to punish him, but at the same time, a Fixia capitalized on that attention to take down Roses. 7-6, still in the lead for the side of Covalence Reform, regardless of the blue star. Covalence Reform does have to play the time. 45 seconds left on the clock. Awfully Bad still holding on to the mid section. A trade of this time is going to be a mirror game. Early on, it was Roses going up against the Tick, the Brock going up against Tick. It was a bit of a miss matchup from them, so they swap it out. But T-Rex will be able to take down secondary, but Awfully Bad and T-Rex is sitting quite low, means that XME has to push up. The Brock has to push up, but secondary overextending when his teammate is not ready yet, but they will be able to punish. Awfully bad, soaking up some of the damage. Roses will be able to take Twice. Another comes in. Secondary quite low. It will be a tie up, but the damage once again does not land as Awfully Bad. The Piper able to jump out into safety. Wow, Covalence Reform hanging by the edge every single time. They are saved by the bell. They are saved by the time.
I think this was Awfully Bad's awfully good game, and it was an awfully terrible move from the side of Asphyxia, right? I mean, first of all, let's look at the tick bomb. The tick bomb was sent out, but none of the other players to capitalize on the tick bomb. I mean, the tick bomb is going to be able to deal quite a lot of damage, and if you have the Piper already aggressing up to that mid section of the map, I mean, because obviously the rest of the players are going to be running helter-skelter, especially the player who's holding on to the blue star. And that was, you know, mistake number one coming through from Asphyxia, sending out the tick bomb. Not even, I mean, Brock or Piper would have been able to finish off those players. And we saw when the tick bomb went off for the side of Asphyxia, that was the situation. But it was a great jump coming through from Piper as well as Brock at the very same time to avoid dying. But at the same time, you know, the tick from the side of Covalence Reform, they had their bomb going out as well. They got that one kill. And, you know, it's just unfortunately a mistake after mistake coming through from Asphyxia, which I don't think will ruin their chances in the competition overall. But like you said, right, Uwu, some of these other teams, they've already got those previous experiences. They've checked all of their past mistakes. Crazy Lagoon, one of those teams who are now coming back in here in Season 2 and absolutely dominating some of these teams, taking a series away from Team Flash. Definitely no joke at all. And I think Asphyxia is going to be one of those teams, but at the moment, it's going to be Covalence Reformed all the way.
Yep, totally agree with you. As I was saying before we went in for the first game itself, it's a game of chess when you go on to Bounty, especially on Purple Paradise, who made the first move. Could it be a trap? Could it be an opening? But it is a trap from the side of Covalence Reform, just waiting for that advance play. But we are going into one game. I do believe, AJ, you love this mode as well. It's going to be Brawl Ball. This is where all of us will take a chill pill because it's Super Stadium, it's Brawl Ball. It's not much of a serious, even though it's still going to be a game on for it, but Awfully Bad going on to secondary, but that's a friend, so that guy will put the hammer to the anvil.
But Roses, though, is actually hitting him with just tiny little nails. Perfect plays, but that Frank smartly outplays him. Now Roses should be able to send the ball up front. It is going to be beautiful plays coming through from the side of Covalence Reform. And one final hit from that Frank will be able to put Roses out of commission. And now XP won't have enough time because the other players from the side of Covalence should be able to respawn back in here. But it is going to be that pressure play from Pam that will be slowing them down. Roses won't be able to touch that ball just for the time being.
Yep, just holding up to the ball. I think this could be a one-goal game because looking at how the advancement and looking at how safe is the side of Covalence Reform and Afixia is playing, the ball is in the midfield itself. Meanwhile, Afixia, they have the map control. Covalence Reform, they are trying to man fight each of them, but oh no, T-Rex got stunned, T-Rex got spread down by secondary. The Frank is able to clear off the map. It's going to be an open map. We could be even going to overtime, could be going to extra time itself, but T-Rex opens up, pass it to Roses, but Roses with a direct drive all the way into the goal. That's the first goal for the side of Covalence Reform. We just need to play the defense. 30 seconds left. Awfully bad, making a mistake. Jumping in, T-Rex has to chuck the ball towards the corner just to be careful, but 3XME holding on to the ball. They're still awfully bad. Could he be punished? But it will be an equalizer by Afixia. Overtime could be coming soon. 5 seconds more. Can Covalence or Afixia capitalize on this? The field is open up. It will be an open field, an open ball. A brawl ball we have here.
Absolutely, and now it's going to be Roses. Roses now just needs to kick the ball up towards Awfully Bad. Awfully Bad instead. Stu going in to take that Frank out. What a goal by Roses. Takes that opportunity as the Frank was distracted, and a perfect goal from the side of Covalence Reform bags this matchup, Uwu.
Yeah, Covalence Reform, they started off pretty strong, but it's kind of surprised to see how Awfully Bad is playing the Stu. He jumps in, throws a lot of light. Even though it takes out some of the obstacles, it opens up the map itself. But the numbers game in Brawl Ball is going to be very important because you want to take control of the ball, you want to take control of the field itself, you want to be able to be controlling the whole tempo. Awfully Bad does keep on throwing body. I'm not sure what's the objective there. Maybe he was trying to go for the risk game to take down maybe one brawler, maybe two brawler, or maybe all three brawler from the side of Afixia. But Afixia's side, they are pretty chunky. They are pretty thick.
Yeah. I think they are thick, and they were taking down a lot of those defensive positions of their own. I think that Frank was a little bit all over the place, and I'm very happy that they switched him out because the Frank just wasn't getting it done for me. Now twice about to get taken down. Awfully Bad with that aggression, but Pam will be able to survive. Secondary now steps up to see if or not he can ask these questions of that little Stu, but he will not be able to. Backs away. Let's see exactly what they'll be able to do now. Stu just punishes him. Pam going in for the response and manages to take Bryce out of the equation. Awfully Bad with that opportunity to score the goal, but secondary saves it at the final moment.
Roses, a miss aim of that goal. He had an open goal, but it was defended by the cactus, by the obstacle itself. What an unfortunate moment for the side of Covalence Reform, but here comes the charge, here comes the advancement, the attacking side from the side of Afixia. They might be able to score as T-Rex so close to defend that, so close, but it will be a lead for the side of Afixia. They just need one more. Oh no, Awfully Bad gets eliminated, gets clear off and sent back to respawn. T-Rex, no, another one goes down. The spike, the damage is good enough to take down the side of Covalence Reform. Their brawler might be sitting a bit too squishy for the damage on the side of Afixia. The damage output is just crazily insane. This could be an open one, but he hits the upright bar so close. It looks like Pre-XME will be making a retreat, but T-Rex just pass back the ball to the side of Afixia. They might be able to hold on to the ball, but it could be an overtime. Awfully Bad goes down to secondary. Once again, Afixia controlling the tempo. T-Rex, you drop down. Pre-XME, he has an open lane for him, but he will bring the ball back to safety. Oh my god! That is just... Oh my god! God.
play, man. Smart play.
Smart.
I say it's a smart play. I say it's a terribly smart play. Even awfully bad didn't see that coming, Uwu. And now 5 more seconds on the clock. Nothing Covalence Reform can do about this. It's just a matchup where they're just snuffing each other out. And there you go. They win it. Asphyxia. Absolute IQ 200 plays all the way through.
Oh, I was not expecting that. I was expecting more of a sportsmanship and they will put on the aggression and everything. But Asphyxia said, maybe this time no.
Yeah.
We want to have the confirmation of the win. We take the ball, we're gonna run it back towards our side, we're gonna chuck it at the corner. If you want the ball, come get it. If you want the goal, come and get it.
Yeah. I think Spike was my personal MVP for that whole matchup. I think he was taking all of his fights perfectly. Even that one goal was taken by XMe, and it was the defense by XMe. Or that whole matchup was just XMe. I love the fact that they took that Frank out. That Frank was just all over the place once again in that first matchup. He was taking down his own defenses, made it so easy for Covalence Reform to score that goal that they actually got for themselves. And, it just wasn't much of a favor to them that at the end of the time, it went into that extra time, right? But this time, it was much more cleaner, and I feel like they should be able to play at this pace. Asphyxia, they've been, trying to find their pace a little bit in this matchup. Uwu, they didn't manage to get it done in the first set. Second set, on the other hand, I feel like this is the place where they turn things around.
Yeah, I think I have to totally agree with you on Asphyxia. If you can't match up with your opponent, play the IQ game, play the smart game, play the safety. We have the ball. Sure, we're gonna keep the ball. We're gonna hop onto the ball. We're not gonna let you have an opportunity. The possession, if we have a possession stats, I do feel like Asphyxia, they had the possession of the ball 70% of the time. They're just hogging on. They're not gonna let Covalence Reform to have any advancement or have any opportunity. But could Covalence Reform bounce back, or Asphyxia? The IQ play comes in awfully bad, brings in the Brock, roses onto the stool. The ball still in neutral position. Twice will make an advance, but has to be a bit more careful. T-Rex mark him out, but T-Rex on the run on the left flank, playing on the wing, awfully bad, making an advancement, but it will be Roses being brought down.
Twice now needs to put that pressure, and it will be that pressure that comes in from the Brock on the side of Asphyxia that manages to push back Covalence Reform, but now the ball's right back on their side, and this little Spike doesn't seem to be super effective on the right-hand side. Taking this fight up against Brock is going to be a huge problem for him, and Secondary needs to come in with the backup. Now Twice going in for that pressure play. T-Res backs away, and this too will go ahead to step up once again, and awfully bad. Drops that Spike. He's having a tough time on that right-hand side.
Yeah, a tough time, but awfully bad, still staying alive. They only have 3 obstacles of defense. Meanwhile, for the side of Asphyxia, they still have 5 defense. Will be a double edge for the side of Asphyxia, because one angle of a bounce could be a score of goal, but Asphyxia, and they play the IQ game, hold on and wait for the overtime, or they are gonna take and go in for the try. That's a good side kick from the side. What a play from Asphyxia. 3XME able to sneaky get the ball into play.
Crazy stuff coming through from the side of Asphyxia. They played that to the T, man. I mean, just a couple of seconds before that, that final defense got taken down, and then it's just going to be XMe that goes all the way. Now T-Rex! XMe with a beautiful save! And now Secondary needs to make sure awfully bad backs away. One more shot from each of them. Secondary gets dropped, and it will be the Twice who picks up the ball, pushes it to the corner. XMe for the defense as well, and this Spike should be able to hold on whilst the Stu comes out for that pressure play. They just have to defend. 8 more seconds in here, and Asphyxia has won this match. What a defense, what a pressure, clean game all the way through.
This is definitely the cleanest game between these two. Covalence Reform against Asphyxia. This is just onslaught. It just feels like it's Italy going up against Germany, the great wall of Germany defense from Asphyxia. Meanwhile, I do say Covalence Reform plays a bit like Italy, full on aggression, but I would say the greater defense. Asphyxia, greater defense. They just outspun it. Get one goal is fine. We do not need to be overextending. We had the lead. Play safe, play the time. They have the whole day to play with Covalence Reform, and Covalence Reform, they have to figure a way how to chip onto the defense of Asphyxia. And I think this could be a sign, this could be a strategy for Asphyxia to bring in to the following game modes that is upcoming. That could be their strength, where they play the best defense game. They do not need to play the greatest offense game. They just need to capitalize on any small mistake that opponents is doing, and looking at how Covalence Reform trying to force confrontation. Asphyxia just address it by, we will play the defense, we will pick one or couple of the objective, and we just sit on it and play super safe. It's a bit of risk, but it's going to be a very, very safety side from the side of Asphyxia.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know at the end of the day, it's all about the wins. It's all about who play. Oh, what a save by XB. This time the guy flies in on a mortis, jumps onto the ball, and goes in for that beautiful dive. Perfection in terms of a play in Brawl Stars. And it's now going to be that Frank going up against Roses. Roses going in for the slice. XB jumps on in, backs away, pushes the ball to the corner, and goes in for the slice. But unfortunately for him, Roses of HP left on him. One bad play from XB. He should have gone in and kicked a ball towards the left-hand side of the field instead, Ubu.
Oh no, but looks like the ball coming in. I do agree with you. Covalence Reform playing super strong, but it will be a return. It will be a comeback. Twice pushing the ball, tries to break the defense. The obstacle, could he break one? He will open up the map, and secondary comes in for the cleanup crew, but PXME will be able to try to chuck down Awfully Bad, but secondary had the same idea as well. He will be able to take down Awfully Bad twice with the ball. He is running in. He has no fear, but Awfully Bad has to clear into the corner. It will be an open one, but the ball still in hand. Can he score it? Secondary goes in for the goal.
Aggression secondary just didn't care, man. Now let's see if another Frank can put up that pressure. XB just flying in for the slice, and he actually gets a kill. Secondary drops Roses. What a beautiful opener from XB. And now it's gonna be twice that drops Awfully Bad. Beautiful play so far. Back-to-back 3 kills, and twice going in for the pressure play. XB just going in for the slice, and XB goes in for the final goal as well. What an assist by Twice. What a goal by XB. What perfection from Asphyxia.
Asphyxia. 3 times the charm, 3 times the defense, but the last time they make it with a comeback and aggression. They show Covalence Reform how to play aggression, how to put on the pressure, and just looking at how Asphyxia popping off. Covalence Reform is caught in surprise, is caught in an open. They are shocked with what just happened, but they still have a chance to bounce back. Still, there is a chance as they are going to move into hot zone. It will be Ring of Fire. Asphyxia chance to turn things around. It will be only one hot zone, but who will hold on? This is going to be quite a poking game, I would say. It will be more of who is able to poke the damage, who is able to zone out and drop into the hot zone, collect the hot zone for themselves. But it feels like both teams, they might have a chance. I'm not sure about this. AJ, what do you think in hot zone, Ring of Fire? Who could be standing tall? Who could be going in with an advantage?
Asphyxia, I think, is going to come out here standing up on top, because I think they've done more of those adjustments, and they've, navigated around Covalence Reform's aggression very, very well. And, they continuously bring they don't fix what's not broken. And I actually like that about them. I absolutely love that about them. Earlier on in that previous match, they noticed that, they made that one mistake with the lineup by taking the Bali out. And those are the kind of micro adjustments that they need to continuously do with their lineup as they face off against Covalence Reform. Covalence, on the other hand, they seem to be too fixated with just one sort of a strat, one sort of a mindset before they move on into the game. And it's going to hold them back, man. I mean, aggression alone cannot win these games. Asphyxia seems to be bringing in these IQ plays, and I think it is going to go to them, and especially in hot zone, right? I think you will agree with me, Ubu. It should go down to the brawlers that are picked at the end of the day, because we want to see exactly what sort of strat they're going in with, right? Is it going to be a Stu where he's just going to go in with those power plays as well as support, or we're going to see a Frank go in there and deal a little bit of extra damage? He's going to be a little too slow, or some of those range throwers who are going to be hiding away and putting a lot of pressure into that hot zone itself, because at the end of the day, it's just one of those zones to play. So quite a number of strats that either side can pull. So I'm quite curious to see exactly what sort of a lineup we have from that first match. We should be able to make a solid call from there, man.
Yep, I feel like bringing in a Piper could be a solution, bringing in the Steel, but having someone up front that is tanky enough, maybe you can play the ad guy, you can play the Mortis itself, might be a chance to play that kind of lineup, because we have seen yesterday and day 1, day 2 itself, some of the meta where they don't really bring in the tanky brawlers itself. They're gonna play a bit more of damage up front into your face, but the meta alone revolves around mid-range to long-range itself. Piper, Brawl, able to zone out. Stu might be viable, but I feel like Stu might be also a double edge, because the moment it goes in, you're able to hold on to hot zone, you are able to try to pick off brawlers, but if you get zoned down, you get pressure on, the Stu is somewhat ineffective, so you have to put the Stu into an assassin mode where you have to play to cut onto the back line. So I feel like bringing a Piper, bringing a Byron in, Amps as well could be an answer to this. So might be seeing what are they bringing into the game, but it's going to be very interesting who make the changes, who starts off aggressive, might be able to zone out and play the kiting game against the other team. That is going to be the opener, that is going to be the ender for the whole hot zone, and could be maybe, I'm not sure, I might go with a fixer on how they play defense style, but we have to see. We are jumping into the game of Covalence Reform going up against Asphyxia. This is game number 4, 2-1 advantage for Covalence Reform.
Well, that Poco's going to be jumping on into this matchup as well, assisting the Brock on the side of Covalence Reform. I believe it is awfully bad. Taking the very risky fight here, manages to pull out the turret in the nick of time before he gets taken out of the equation. Roses drops twice out. Secondary is going to go down as well. And Covalence Reform, what a pressure play.
Yeah, a super pressure play. They do have the mid section in hand. Covalence Reform sitting at 34%. Meanwhile, Asphyxia will be able to grab back, but look at the zoning. Look at how Roses is playing for the backline. Oh, PSM, will be a bit low twice. Will try to go for the pressure, will try to go up in front. It will be a reset towards the side of Asphyxia. They will have the hostage in hand. It will be 55% on counting, but awfully bad. Turn things around. The Poco is in hand. T-Res, Roses, they sit on top. It will be an easy offense, an easy guard and of the hot zone, and they will be able to pick up the first round of game number 4 of the set itself. So, Covalence Reform, a good initiation. I love how they divide and conquer. I love how Roses play for the backline, cut things off, and the moment they need to set up a kill box, they set up the kill box in the middle of the hot zone itself. Asphyxia just got lured into the trap.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, it was just not a fight that they could take on from those early stages. And I think they just got a little bit scared of too much. The Byron was just doing way too much of damage on the side of Covalence Reform, right? But I don't think this is something that Asphyxia cannot respond to so far. Those IQ plays from them What do you think about the efficacy of the Mortis though? Because we talked about him being brought in there. He was brought in, but I don't think he was actually doing much of the heavy lifting.
I feel the Mortis is more of a distraction. It's more of a way to scare out the Byron itself. Because look at the position, it just recaps on the first round of game 4 itself. Look at the position of the Byron. The Byron is on the far right itself. It's unable to put in the support to support all the brawlers. It was only able to support one of the brawlers itself, and it kind of cut off the resources. It kind of cut off the supportiveness of a Byron. Byron always, you want to play the backline, and the Mortis itself, it poses a threat that is able to jump into the backline, is able to go in and just like put a scare to Byron and takes down the Byron itself. And we can take a look again, but they will swap up brawlers itself. The Crow will be brought in. This is going to be something different from both sides.
Oh, I love it, man. I love the pressure play this time from Asphyxia. They bring the Crow in, so he should be able to go in for those pressure plays whenever that is required. Oh, twice! Unfortunate for him, getting taken out in the most unfortunate of situations that Leon needs to play it a little bit more safely. He is way too squishy to be playing that aggressive. Once again, now this time secondary drops awfully bad. X-Me with the opportunity to go in with the pressure play. Roses backs away, and this will be Asphyxia's opening to pick those points up from the zone.
Yeah, but Prior XM is sitting in a very bad situation. He will jump into the back of line, but he does not get much out of it. Secondary will be able to pick one up, but here comes the pressure, here comes the push. If let's get the trade off, but Toys will be able to take back a revenge hunt to the side of Asphyxia. Side of Covalence Reform, Asphyxia has 48%, 50% right now. 40% for the side of Covalence Reform. Covalence Reform, you have to make the push in. Roses push in towards the back. Able from the right flank itself, and it poses a trap for the side of Asphyxia. They might have to back up. Crow sitting quite back twice, making a push. Roses will be able to take down one of the players, but it will not be enough as Covalence Reform move on. Secondary has to back up as well, awfully bad. Trying to be the taunt, trying to be a very, very annoying brawl on the side, but here comes PXME. The Crow jumps in twice to be able to clear the floor for the side of Asphyxia, and Asphyxia holds on. They might be able to capture this, they might be able to turn things around, but awfully bad. Coming back in, can they capitalize this? They might be able, they clean it up.
Oh, great plays coming through in here. Asphyxia 85% now, 45 seconds for the side of Covalence to perhaps go in and play some damage in, but it just seems to be so impossible. Awfully bad playing those pressure plays. Roses finally steps back on to the hot zone, and this is the opportunity for them. They catch up, they aggress on, and this needs to be X-Me's play. Crow goes in for the jump, but badly played. Unfortunate for him, but Asphyxia manages to push it down up to 90%. 93 played back by Covalence. They're running away with this game. XP gets shut down, and Covalence finishes the game in a perfect fashion.
I love how Covalence Reform plays it out with Asphyxia. I love this round itself. The two matchup is fairly equal. I love how it's been played out. The Crow picked up was beautiful. Just that I feel was a bit of miscommunication between the players itself. Like the Crow jumps in, the rest of the brawlers are not in position to put in the damage stores, not in position to put in the suppressing fire and the pressure itself, and the Crow gets taken off. Meanwhile, on the side of Covalence Reform, they are able to reset, they are able to play at the same timing, move in perfectly. Defense, they are a bit of a scramble. They always run way too far and way too wide, where the Crow can capitalize those opportunity, and it feels like a tug of war. I pull back, you push in, who will stand on top? We have to take a look, but that's what I'm looking at from that previous round itself, AJ.
I feel like I do agree with you, Uwu. It's just the Crow's play was just not super good for me. Even that final jump, I think, is self-explanatory. It paints out the whole picture of how that matchup went for the Crow, right? The Crow was unfortunately, I guess, not sharp just today. But let's see if or not they'll go in for the fix. I feel like this was very experimentational, brought in by Asphyxia. Experiment has failed, my friend. You need to go back to the drawing board. I want to see the Crow out. I want to see a different sort of a play coming through. Maybe they'll be able to play that Mortis a little bit better. Let's see what is... Leon gets brought back in through. It's going to be the spike as well for the setup. I think this is going to be better for XP to play. He has proven to be a very, very solid spike player. And he should be able to pull those cactuses out in the right nick of time. Because he needs the defense more than anything now.
Yeah, I do agree with you. The spike play is
Oh, beauty! Oh,
more better, but T-Rex will be able to clean it up. A trade-off, but no secondary pops off. This is going to be a trade between both teams. Awfully bad, able to pick up pre-XMA, but oh, look at that secondary takes down Awfully bad. Rosen will have his trade-off. This is just back and forth. We have a brawl itself. It will be between Covalence Reform against Asphyxia. The percentage is in the favor for the side of Covalence Reform, but Asphyxia putting a fight, trying to do their best, but they are throwing body. It might be way too much. They have to play a bit more careful. They might need to reset themselves. T-Rex stands on top, throws down the spike, but he will be traded off. Secondary still holds on. Pre-XME make a push, but awfully bad on the right flank. Clears off the back, and oh, that box has said they are going in for the sandwich. Takes out one, but a trade off again.
I did not see Awfully Bad coming through with that backstab. Unfortunately for him, he gets taken down. Asphyxia needs to make a play now. They've got about a minute to pull this off. Twice now going in for that backstab plays. Awfully Bad will step on fourth, but Twice takes that shot a little bit unfortunately. I feel like he could have maintained trigger discipline. He steps up, goes in for the fight, gets the kill, but T-Rex drops him, and Awfully Bad, he's about to finish this game. 92% now. Asphyxia needs to play it right back. Secondary about to get dropped. Twice stepping up as well. This is too late as Covalence Reform wins this matchup once again.
What a play for the side of Covalence Reform. Congratulations to them as they will be able to finally collect a win under their belt. 3 points for them. That will be going into the standings for them. That will fairly means that anyone in the mid card to the bottom card, they're kind of stuck to each other because now everyone has 3 points. The result for today might be a changing one. We have to see for that, but that is the appetizer. Covalence Reform went up against Asphyxia. Covalence Reform stand on top. Asphyxia experimented a bit. They play a bit of IQ game plan. But it does feel like the cheese just got rotten out and just got snapped out by the side of Covalence Reform. And Covalence Reform, that's 3 points. That's a good objective. That's a good way. But let's take a look how the whole matchup boils down to and how Covalence Reform were able to capitalize every single opportunity when they are able to.
So the first round in here for that siege bot, we did see the Bali come through from the side of Asphyxia. A lot of pressure was being played, but they just could not get those balls because they weren't brave enough to step up into that mid segment of that area, of the map, and it was just all out Covalence Reform. In that second half though, in the second round though, they kind of switched that Bali out and they suffered an even worse fate.
Yep, totally agree with you on the game plan from the side of Asphyxia. But moving on to Bounty itself, things kind of went into the hand of Covalence Reform. They control the tempo, they repeat the same thing in the first set itself on to the siege. It does feel like Asphyxia playing into the hand. They were able to pick up one round, but it was not good enough. It was not great, and Covalence Reform always got saved by the bell. with all the decision, the jumps itself was perfectly. But Brawl Ball, it was a different ball game. IQ play after IQ play. I think this was the next IQ play itself. It is the second, the third one. This is the third one itself. That is going to be the IQ play where we saw how PXME play the most mind game ever.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it was all about that for the side of Asphyxia. But Covalence Reform, they prove at the end of the day, you can bring those IQ plays through, but your mechanical capabilities of taking some of these fights needs to be solid as well. And I think that's exactly where Asphyxia was falling a little short with their mechanical capabilities of pulling away at the right time. And I mean, I think their drafting was a little weak as well. Like, for example, Prime XME pulling in the Crow was not the best of ideas at this hot zone.
Yep, totally agree with you. It's a double-edged sword moment for the side of Asphyxia. The Crow could be good, it could be bad, but at that situation, it was one of the bad situations because you don't have any mobility for the side of Asphyxia to come in to even support. Their long range was not in position in the area to even back up the Crow itself. So end up they have to go back to the Leon itself, and it kind of make it much more self-explanatory to go back for the Leon. More how to say, more advantage, more proper setups that you can set up with the Leon. But I digress. That is the end of the first matchup. I believe the next matchup is going to be interesting one. I guess it will be coming right after this. But before that, we'll be going for a short break, so we'll see you guys after these messages.
Before we jump into the next one, here's a quick reminder for all of you mobile gamers out there. The ESL Mobile Open is just around the corner, so head over to Twitter right now and get all of those details. Tell your friends, build a team, and earn a spot in the finals.
Feel the lights, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the wait's up. That's how we know when we level up. Ay, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. That's how we know when we level up. Yeah, that's how we know when we level up. Level up.
All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. It's time, get up.
Before we jump into the next one, here's a quick reminder for all of you mobile gamers out there. The ESL Mobile Open is just around the corner, so head over to Twitter right now and get all of those details. Tell your friends, build a team, and earn a spot in the finals.
Feel the lights, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the wait's up. That's how we know when we level up. Ay, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. That's how we know when we level up. Yeah, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. It's time, get up.
Welcome back, everybody, to the ESL Mobile Challenge Brawl Stars Asia Pacific. I'm Uwu the Magical, joined by me, the one with the mustache, the man with the great voice, the mustachio AJ. And coming up, the matchup itself, I believe we need the voice of power. It's going to be Lil Moyaji going up against Team Flash. Let's take a look at the matchup.
Oh, absolutely, man. I'm looking forward to this one, right? Little Moya G, I've heard so much. I have seen nothing in person just yet. This will be my first ever matchup shoutcasting for them. Team Flash, on the other hand, we know exactly what they're capable of in here. But so far, the stats don't look good on the side of the Singaporeans. Little Moya G with Dempsey, Coop D, Ken G, as well as MDE stepping up to once again conquer the battlefield out there. Out of 3 matches, they've bagged all 3 with a total of 9 points on the leaderboard so far, Uwu.
Yup, 9 points. No ball been dropped yet. They didn't even lose any sets. But let's take a look at Lil Moya G's top pick and top ban. They love to bring out the Poco, Brock, Ash. They love to take out the Leon and Tara because they do want to be careful of the back line. But Lil Moya G, they are the new kids in block. They are the top dog, but they have to go up against a bit of a veteran team that is Team Flash.
Yeah.
CZK Response and Wrigley Spool. We have seen their face for a lot of time, but this time, can they bring it to Lil Moya G? Can they put the Singaporean Flames onto the house? And can they bring down the team from the land of Rising Suns? This is going to be the top picks and top ban. Sprout, Steel, and Dynamite will be the top picks. Top ban will be the Tick and Barley. We have seen Wrigley Spool just stumble a bit with the brawlers on his brawler pool, but he does pick off whenever he can. So all the players from the side of Team Flash is going to be a threat for the side of Lil Moya G. But Lil Moya G, I do feel like they have something in the bag. Let's take a look at what will be the banned brawlers for this matchup. Mortis and Ash, they recognize the threat from the side of Team Flash. Meanwhile, Team Flash, they do not want to deal with the Stew. They do not want to deal with the Spike because just based on the map rotation itself, they know the first 3 maps is going to be the map that they want to set themselves up to grab the points itself. So they start off once again to give everyone a reminder, start off on with Siege on some assembly required. Next, we'll be going up to the open map of Purple Paradise where they will be playing Bounty. The third one will be Super Stadium, Brawl Ball. And I think Team Flash, they kind of calculated they might be forced into a game for Hot Zone Ring of Fire. That's why they took out the Spike itself. So looking at how Team Flash is already pre-calculating their future, pre-allocating the resources that they need to take down Lil Moya G, could Team Flash be the bane of Lil Moya G? We have to find out, and I think
Yeah.
this is going to be a surpriser, going to be an eye opener for you, AJ, because Lil Moya G, their lineup, their game plan, their game style, it's just really, really wow.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I've heard so much, and here I am to witness it for myself. But maybe what is needed in this concoction is a little bit of experience from the side of Team Flash to show Lil Moya G that, you know, maybe experience counts for something in this competition, right? And if they are able to show that, well, it will be a true shocker. It will be quite the eye-opener. If that does not happen, if Lil Moya G manages to take this fight against Team Flash and get the Juggernaut victory as well, then we are literally staring at the inevitable. That is, the Japanese teams look to be all too strong in this competition. And I think the only one suffering is Iceban, and we all know exactly who Iceban is in season 1. They showed us exactly what they were capable of, but they are, you know, sitting on the 6th position now. So I think that, you know, says a lot about the Japanese teams, right? And as far as we are concerned, Team Flash, if they are able to step up, which I think we might be able to see, Uwu, they will be able to inject a little bit of excitement into the competition, as well as assure us that, you know, the fight is very much still alive.
It sounds like you're backing up Team Flash in this matchup, but I feel like Lil Moya G have a bit of surprise in the back, and Team Flash, I totally agree here. I'm not putting them down. Experience comes in with a lot onto them. But Lil Moya G, the new kids on the block, they kind of bring things around. They try to create a different in the whole game. But I do believe that we have some technical difficulties between both teams. So we will be going for a short break, and we'll give you guys an update what happened right after this short technical break itself. So see you guys in a bit.
Before we jump into the next one, here's a quick reminder for all of you mobile gamers out there. The ESL Mobile Open is just around the corner, so head over to Twitter right now and get all of those details. Tell your friends, build a team, and earn a spot in the finals.
Feel the lights, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the wait's up. That's how we know when we level up. Ay, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. That's how we know when we level up. Yeah, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. It's time, get up.
Before we jump into the next one, here's a quick reminder for all of you mobile gamers out there. The ESL Mobile Open is just around the corner, so head over to Twitter right now and get all of those details. Tell your friends, build a team, and earn a spot in the finals.
Feel the lights, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the wait's up. That's how we know when we level up. Ay, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. That's how we know when we level up. Yeah, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. It's time, get up.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the ESL Mobile Challenge Brawl Stars Asia Pacific. I'm Ubu the Magical and joined by me, the Mustachio AJ. We just got some update. It looks like the Celestial Stars of Brawl Stars was not aligned for the side of Team Flash, so they had to forfeit this matchup up against Lil Moya G. A bit of a news cause I think AJ, you really want to watch them. You really want to experience what a Lil Moya G, but I felt like I think the star is not aligned for you, and I think like it's just a surprise. They're gonna keep it that way so that the moment you are gonna cast their game, it's going to be an eye-opener for you. I believe that's going to be what is happening. The fate is not aligned for that.
I'm deeply disappointed, man. I'm deeply disappointed because I don't get to see Lil Moya G in action. And I'm deeply disappointed to not see whether or not Team Flash has got it in them to take down a team as big and as dominant as Lil Moya G has been in the competition so far. Unfortunately, Team Flash is not able to join us, and Lil Moya G, just like what Uvo has said, will get the default 3 points from that matchup. So we move on to series number 3 instead. Zeta Division will be taking on Icebarn. How about that, Ubu?
Oh, this is another matchup that I'm looking for the whole challenge itself, ESL Mobile Challenge. Zeta Division going up against Icebarn, two of the top teams from Season 1. They are going to duke it out. Icebarn playing previously on a different banner, but this time the Hungry Sharks from Japan will be going up against the veteran from the land of the rising sun. Let's take a look on the lineup. Everyone knows Zeta Division. Tensa, I'm a Meshi, a Choppy, a Side Tempo will be the one that got Zeta Division. This is the army of Zeta. This is the commander in charge. The top brawlers that they love to pick and ban will be coming right up, but they will be going up against Icebarn. This will be an enemy that they are not that scared of. They have ran up against Icebarn for quite a time, but let's take a look at their top picks and ban. It will be Bell, Stu, Max. Meanwhile, the meta ban Ash and Byron will be the two brawlers to be banned out. But it will not be in this matchup yet, because this is just the two top bans itself, the three top picks. The most successful one for the side of Zeta Division will be Bell, Stu, and Max, but there will be more to come. What will they ban off and what will be picked up? We will figure it out later. But the Hungry Sharks, the Iceberg of Japan. This is Icebarn, Aaron, Rohe, Moneko, and Erotan. They will defend their pride. They will defend what they have. I feel like this is the El Clasico in Japan. Z with Icebarn, Byron, Max, and Jean, the top picks. top ban will be Ash and Buzz. They recognize the issue of Ash, they recognize the issue of Buzz itself. Up front, very tanky, able to come in, suppress you, and bring down a brawler. But these two teams, Zeta Division against Iceborne, this is going to be a legendary one. AJ, what do you think about this matchup? These two giants from the land of the rising sun, Japan. Who do you think could be going in with a big advantage? Who will be on the upper hand in this matchup?
I am, with a heavy heart gonna say that, it's gonna lean on the side of Zeta Division. Iceborne is struggling in the competition. And as you have seen, man, the top ban for the side of Zeta is the top pick for the side of Iceborne. That Byron is going to be instrumental if Iceborne wants to pick up some of these matches. And, Zeta Division just does not like seeing him anywhere in or around them because of the range that he has, because of the fact of the matter that he can heal up each and every single one of his team members. He's definitely going to be a pain in there, right? And I feel like Zeta all throughout these matchups, regardless of which map we have thrown them in, regardless of, which team we've put them up against, except for that one team that has managed to take them down one. Wait, has Zeta lost a match? They have lost, right?
No, okay. Zeta did not really lose the match in that context.
Oh yeah, they didn't show up.
Yep, they didn't show up. They had to defeat that game. But this is going to be the ban. Zeta Division smart to take out the Byron and the Brock itself. Iceborne takes out the Brock and Ash. That is going to be the meta ban itself. But Zeta Division really, really smart ban. But about the Zeta, that I had the information yesterday as well. They did not show up. It was a forfeit, and Flash managed to get that 3 points automatically. It's the same situation. What happened today? Flash instead had the reverse karma. They had some technical difficulties. They didn't show up against Lil Moya G. It's going to be very interesting back and forth.
I hope these are unforeseen circumstances and not just a ploy to not show us what they're made of until they make it through to the playoffs. Because you see, at the end of the day, it's just a single round robin, Ubu, right?
Yep.
And Brawl Stars, you've got your meta running, and you have to take on that team. You have to scrim against them to be able to see exactly what you're going up against, because there's only so much that you can tell from these matchups that you see them taking against other teams, especially when those other teams do not play the kind of strats that you usually bring in. And I feel like Team Flash has got a lot to lose taking on Lil Moya G in this particular instance, just as much as Zeta Division had to lose taking Flash. So I feel like this was a match that Flash could definitely give up. But yeah, those are just my conspiracy theorist brain coming up with stuff, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Don't mind me at all. But as we jump on back into this matchup, it is going to be the Siege bot doing quite a lot of damage. And Mameshi, as that Bali, is being such a pain to deal with.
Yeah, Mameshi is just setting up, but he can't count down Rohi. Rohi jumps in, Aaron goes in. They are trying. We have an all-out brawl. This has been called out as one of the classic between the teams in Japan. Iceborne holding on. They have the lead. They have 8 votes in hand. Definitely, this is going to be a hard one for the side of Zeta Division to defend, but it's going to be one that they are not afraid to defend. Side tempo playing super aggressive. He, in the end, it will be going for the push onto the eye turret. At the eye turret for the side of Iceborne, bring brought down to 30%. Meanwhile, for the side of Zeta Division, they're trying to defend this. They are getting hit on it. Brings down to 30%. This is going to be a hurtful one for the side of Zeta Division. A risk that they have taken, a risk that they have to pay for. Last stage coming in 15 seconds. Zeta Division has to defend this. They have to take the lead. Iceborne, on the other hand, will be able to take down a bit more. Will be able to pick up more balls in hand, but Zeta Division still have the balls in advantage. That's someone in for them, but it will not be enough for the side of Iceborne to tie things off. It will be a defense. They will be throwing the body there, but in the end, they are going for the eye turret. They are jumping in, but the respawn is not enough. They are trying to defend this, but 19, 15, 10%, and instantly that is out for Iceborne. Zeta Division picks up the first point. That is how close this is. Iceborne, they up they try to go match up against Zeta Division.
Yep.
That's an improvement from the side of Iceban. This is definitely going to be a very close one. Zeta Division, they might be on their toes with Iceban.
Yeah, pretty mirrored there with the Bali fight. We did see that Rico do a lot of damage as well. And I really like the fact that Iceban knew that it was do or die moment. The fact of the matter is, the siege bot was going to spawn. You either go in for the dive and fail, because either way, once the siege bot gets onto the other end, you're going to die anyway. The game's going to be over. You only have 30% and the timer was running out. That was the final siege, right? So I think that Iceban, in terms of strats, in terms of those micro decisions that they pull off in this matchup against Zeta Division, seems to be on point, right? They just need to... I think they just need to keep it up, Ubu. Don't fix what's not broken. And I feel like in those matchups in certain parts, but Iceban could have definitely caught them off guard. I want to see more from this. I think Iceban should be able to put on way more pressure in this next round, and it's just going to come down to those engagements in that mid area, which I feel like Zeta's taking a little bit better with Diabali, who seems way more aggressive.
I totally agree with you. Zeta Division did real well. Iceban, on the other hand, amp up their offense, amp up their defense at the same time. The risk itself, I felt like that's a perfect risk, a perfect opportunity for them to go in for.
Correct.
And I think they just need to replicate. They just need that finisher, that moment for them to go for the finisher and clear things off. And that could be the first time that we see Zeta Division falling to a hands in ESL Mobile.
Yeah.
Could be history today, could be, but Zeta Division has a lot on the line to defend themselves, since that they didn't play on day one. They need the points, they need the securance. They may get as much as they can, but is it enough for them to solidify themselves to be on the top two?
Yeah, I think it's something that they will not have to fuss too much about at all. We've all seen exactly how Zeta Division has been in Season 1. They were quite the beast. They were pretty much unbeaten, and they did go ahead and take on the side of Iceban as they were previously, and they did go ahead and beat them 3-0 as well. So it's history tells us that this is not going to be a match that Zeta Division is looking to lose. And I don't think these are sets that they can lose with the way that they are taking these fights. But Iceman is just really, really pulling it close, right? Let's see if they will be able to get it done this time around. I don't think the side of Zeta wants to get rid of their Bali. They bring it in once again. Ryohei gonna be jumping on in with the Mortis, but Achapi just going in for that punish, and Mameshi drops in with the assist. Side tempo exists Malfi from this equation, and it's just gonna be Zeta Division from the get-go. Level 3 siege bot being sent up, and this is just going to be way too easy for them.
Yeah, way too easy. I just felt a bit off with the positioning of Iceban. They put they put Rohi on the right side, and instead of playing Rohi in the middle, Conspiracy, whenever Rohi is standing in as an anchor in the middle of the map itself, Mopi and Aaron has a bit more mobility, has a bit more flanking potential, and there might be turning things around. Rohi, as you see, goes in from the middle, will be able to pick one out, but he has to be a bit more careful. Side tempo, Chapi will be able to take the response back. Aaron has to come back. It will be a level 9 siege spot for the side of Zeta Division. There will be a defense from the side of Iceban, but this could be a hard one as the mid section is opened up. A Chapi lays down the damage. Here comes the clean up crew. They will be able to clean this up. Iceban, I just felt like this round 2, it's just a mispositioning of the players, the mispositioning of the brawlers on where they go. I agree with you on the last statement. If it's not broken, don't fix it. So they try to fix it. They try to rectify an issue that is not there. They put Rohi on the right flag.
Yeah, I think that was the mistake, right? In terms of going in for the change of picks, I feel like they matched up, they mirrored it quite well. The recall was just not doing it for me though, Uwu. Way too aggressive, going in for the jump away, just rolling in for that battle without any backup whatsoever was just a terrible idea. And the moment Aaron falls, he breaks the offense for the side of Iceban. And the rest of the play, it just feels like the communication on the side of Iceban is very much off in comparison to season 1. And that's definitely going to punish them, right? If Aaron continues to make these, unfortunate mistakes by going in for those dives, Zeta Division will continue to punish them. Because, I mean, Zeta Division, one of the most mechanically sound Brawl Stars team we have seen thus far, hands down. Except for the exception of Lil Moya G, who sits down at the top. And I've not seen them play, like live. And then that's where all the heat's from. So I'm just still keeping myself for that matchup. I want to see them take their series. Hopefully tomorrow will be that day. But Zeta Division doesn't really need to worry about this form of Iceban. They don't seem to be much of a threat.
I think just talking on the topic itself regarding about Aaron and Rohi positioning, Aaron was playing on the Rico as you were saying, and Rohi was playing on the right hand side itself. The situation is like this: the moment Aaron goes in, Rohi has to respond by going towards the right flank and cutting from the back line. Rohi has not much of a time to cut back towards the middle, and by the time where he cuts back in, Aaron goes down, and as you say, the communication breaks down from there. Aaron is gone. The offense lineup from the side of Iceban is weakened. Rohi has nothing else in his arsenal to do but to go down, and it has to go for a reset. So in the last few 30 seconds, if I'm not mistaken, Rohi rotated back towards the mid position, but it was too late. The level 9 Siege Bot walks in, and it's going to be hard for the side of Iceban. And I feel Iceban, they don't need to change up the player positioning. The brawler that they picked up was perfect. It was somewhat a mirror matchup. They just need that finisher. But just talking about that, it feels like we are asking way too much from the side of Iceban, especially they are going up against Zeta Division. But I think one of the game that you might be most interested to see is going to be Zeta Division going up against the undefeated team. So far, undefeated, Lil Moya G.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to that series. I mean, when will we even be able to witness that? That's Playday 7. Oh, that's way too long to wait for, right? I mean, just to watch Lil Moya G in action. Zeta Division against Iceban, though. I want to see Iceban step up and say, hey, you know what? We don't even need to wait for Playday 7. We can show you a little bit of what Lil Moya G is capable of, right? Some pressure plays, take away a couple of sets from Zeta Division, perhaps just pushes into set number 5. I think you took the words out of my mouth that I'm about to say now. I think it's a little bit too much to ask, but I want to see that amount of pressure from them because something's up with the team from season 1, man. They're not hitting as hard as they were. And I'm curious to find out why. Hopefully, they'll be able to win the series and we can interview them.
Definitely, I would love to interview them. But I think I have to agree with your statement over there. I felt like it's more of a bit more passive. They're going to go for the poke play, try to test out the strategy. But at the same time, I felt like it's a respect between two teams. Iceban and Zeta Division, they have respect for each other. They know like they do not want to go full art onto the opponent, but it feels like Iceban is still lacking some. It does feel a bit more. They just need a bit more push, then they might be able to jump in. But Iceban, Zeta Division just feels like they have something to prove. They have something to do. But Iceban, you must remember, Iceban is going up against one of the best teams in Asia Pacific. You can even say one of the best team global.
Yeah. Fair enough, man. But to your point, right, Uwu, it's all about going in and controlling the mistakes that you made and respecting the team. There was a lot of respect being shown, I do agree, except for those few moments of mistakes by A. Because that was exactly where I think they failed to show that respect. Because if you make that one small mistake, there's no way you can think that Zeta Division will not punish you, right? And they just kept getting punished like that over and over again. And I feel like if they had gone, like based on what you have mentioned, gone in for a switch of sides, take him, throw him over to the left-hand side, I think he would have been slightly more effective and he would have balanced out the matchup a little bit more. But of course, we are still waiting for the next round. The teams are taking quite a while, so I think we might be able to see those plays come through. Maybe Ice Buns making those adjustments. Maybe they are, going in, huddling up and trying to figure out exactly how they can take down Zeta Division. I hope it goes their way, because every single round that they lose, it's going to just demotivate them even further and make a strong Zeta Division even stronger from here on in, which is not going to do them good for the rest of the series.
I definitely agree with you that Iceban, this is the perfect opportunity. Calm down the tempo, reset the morale, reset the whole game plan itself. Take this opportunity and come up with something solid that they are able to match up against Zeta Division. Zeta Division, nonetheless, no need to say much about them. They are one of the strongest team, one of the most stacked team. But Iceban could be posing a threat. Could this be Titanic and the iceberg? Could Iceban be the iceberg to Zeta Division? We have to see this. Can they be the one to bring down Zeta Division? We have seen in season 1 a lot of teams try to bring down Zeta Division. Unfortunately, no one came up on top. Could Iceban come in season 2, bring them down, or do they still need time? Or do another team, maybe another team could have this opportunity to bring down the Titans, to bring down the god themselves, Zeta Division? Because just looking at Zeta Division, they just hold on to the same lineup, they just play the same game style, and I don't see them dropping any ball to anyone. And this is going to be a matchup where K will be playing further on the left.
Okay. Now, I was wondering if or not there's something wrong with my memory, but no, there was a issue with the previous round, so we couldn't really broadcast it for you guys, hence why there was a little bit of a delay. But it was won over by Zeta Division, so unfortunately for Iceban, they need to step it up this time round. And with Molby playing an aggressive game like that, I think that's going to be very much possible for the side of Iceban. Let's see if or not they can continue. Molby once again strikes this Piper. So aggressive, Molby! Oh, goodness me. Yeah, boy. You keep hitting that well. And now that Piper... Side tempo! Response! Molby shouldn't have pulled out that emote too soon.
Molby just popping off, but Saitapu saying no, it is going to be a punish. The disrespect for Molby will be taken down. Zeta Division responding 15-60. They do have the blue star in hand, but they are lacking by 1. But here comes the boom. Can it land round the roses? No one will absorb that boom itself. But sadness for Side Tempo. But another try, another response this time. Mameshi on the run. Mameshi goes down. Rohit responds back. Stay down as Iceban. They could be the one to take things away from Zeta Division. Could this be? This will be the first one step closer to taking a point away from Zeta Division. Iceban, here we go. Step number 1.
I just want to see a tick battle every day, all day, every day. all the way through, man. Those stick bombs just really make my day. But what a way for Zeta Division to drop the ball after firing back so well. Ice Bun, they managed to steal it away, and that was mainly because of the tick bomb. Nothing else won the game. Nothing else changed the pace of that matchup.
Yep, agree with you. The tick race, the tick bomb itself was one of the key moments, was one of the key points for both teams. Zeta Division recognized that tick bomb is super good, super viable in Purple Paradise because it's so wide open. Where do you want to run? Run around anywhere you want. My tick will follow you, will try to land onto you. We can even juke you out, and you can force those jumps. That was super important because those jumps, if you mistime it, you jump way too early, the tick bomb can just wrap around, take a detour, and meet you at your landing spot, and that could be the finisher. Zeta Division recognized that. Ice Bun recognized that. You see how Rohi was playing it out perfectly. It was just between those two ticks, playing it out. Who is the better tick? We have to find out. Ice Bun collected the first one. First step, can they do it again?
I think they will be able to, man. Come on, Tick. Let's see. Oh, Ryohei, too aggressive, but manages to move away from Achapi's shot. Surviving. Oh, smart plays from the side of Ryohei. And that's exactly what Ice Bun will require. And now Mameshi putting on that pressure. Ryohei, on the other hand, responding with those mechanical supreme plays. Mameshi going in for the push. And it will be Mopi that shuts down that first player. Unfortunately for Achapi, he gets taken up. Ryohei takes down Mameshi as well. Things looking solid for the side of Ice Bun.
Yup, I'm just surprised right now. Look at Zeta Division line up. It feels like they are running a glass cannon line up. Look, it's so soft. On the side of Ice Bun, they are able to shield out, they are able to go for this kind of picks, and Ice Bun capitalizing every single opportunity. Zeta Division, they might be in a bit of trouble. Here comes the tick bomb! So close. Mameshi might have a respawn after this, might be able to send out his own. But Side Tempo and Achapi, the brawlers that they picked up, it feels super glass cannon. They could be able to deal a lot of damage, but if they got countered, reacted, this is going to be an issue.
Oh, this is unfortunate for the side of Ice Bun. One too many mistakes. That Tick will be able to find his spot. Achapi flies away at the very final moment. Yes, they drop Side Tempo, but it's going to be way too late. Achapi with a cheeky final kill as well will make it way too good. It was Mameshi's game this time around. The star player, none other than the Tick as well as the Tick Bomb. Once again, making the plays, making the game. I love it. And it was a well-taken round from the side of Zeta Division. Ice Bun almost got it though.
Yeah, totally agree with you how Zeta Division is playing it. Ice Bun, they could have capitalized it. I just felt like Zeta Division went with the glass cannon line up. Damage output super high, super viable, able to zone, able to kite brawlers from the side of Ice Bun, try to jump in. It could just take two shots from both the Piper itself to bring down one of the brawlers, and it feels like it changed up the whole tempo. It changed up the whole strategy from the side of Ice Bun. Because like previously, the first round, it feels like Ice Bun, they could play the long range game. They could play the tick game itself.
Yeah, correct.
But Zeta Division brings out a glass cannon game plan. It forces the brawlers from the side of Ice Bun to stay way behind. Any front engagement is going to be a very punishing. And oh wow! Look at the change up from the side of Ice Bun.
Yeah, they want to go all guns blazing this time round. Still, oh, Ryohei just gets a little bit too aggressive, but Mobi will be able to respond. But unfortunately, Saitampo just a little too smart. One final shot does not go through, and Mameshi punishes Mobi for that aggression. And from the get-go, it will be Zeta Division.
Yup, Zeta Division. Oh, look at the coordination from Zeta. Taking out the utilities. Mopi will be a bit sad, but Chappie sitting quite low. But this is the glass cannon meta. This is what I was talking about. But Mameshi will have his response back. Tie of things. Blue Stars in the hand of Iceban. They might be able to hold on, but here comes the support from the Poco, able to keep his teammate alive. Takes out another one. Saitampo has nowhere to run, but has to be a bit more careful. Glass cannon strat could be countered out by the brawlers that can jump right in front of your face. 15 to 16. Zeta Division has 1 star in advantage, but Rohim has to be a bit more careful. He is good. He is well played with the steal, but still alive, able to heal up. But Aaron pushes in. Mopi in the support. They will drop down one utility, but Rohit gets all the support, but not enough as the side topper, a choppy glass cannon focusing onto Rohit. This could be running out of time for the side of Iceman. They need one more time. They need one more try. They will try to go and force this, but Mope drops down. Zeta Division picks up another one. They will deny Iceman the opportunity. They will deny Iceman the call to greatness to even pick up 1 point.
Yeah, that Boko was trying to do a lot of healing, but unfortunately, each and every single time the guy went in there for the pump, it was misplaced, and it was just way too much of firepower. Yes, the Boko can go in there and go in for the assist, go in for that support as well. But when the player that he's trying to go in for the support is being attacked by 2 of the opposing players at the very same time, then the support becomes instantaneously useless, Uwu. And right after that happens, then the Poco's the next target. Poco can't really fight or flash out of there. He can't really run or jump. He gets taken out. It's just a composition that did not work for me on the side of Iceban. And Zeta Division had that winning all from the start. It was a very risky, it was the cheese strat that I guess some teams might look for, but I think Iceban shouldn't have fallen back to that because they've got capabilities in terms of mechanical plays to take a little bit more of a structured approach in towards these matches, right? They didn't really need to fall back to that. So it was way too risky and they got punished, man. It was close, but they couldn't bag it at the end.
Yep, I'll totally agree with you on that. When out with the cheese strat, I felt like they don't need as well. If they really want to run with the cheese strat, you can keep the Poco, you can keep the Stu up in front. Maybe bring in the bus. If I'm not mistaken, the bus was not banned off for the side of Iceban. So I feel like maybe Iceban can run the bus. I know they are not. They don't favor the bus to be brought in. They don't really want to bring the bus in because it's going to be a very, very easy target. But maybe if they were to run that cheese strat, maybe they want to top it out with a bit of extra sprinkles of the cheese with the bus itself. But do not know. They are running again the same lineup, but it will be more of a less aggressiveness. But Zeta Division had that opening for them. Not sure things is breaking down for the of Iceban in a correct way, but it feels like the morale has been breaking down.
Yep, let's see if or not the Genie will be able to continue to put on so much of pressure. Stepping up, Aaron gets taken down. Saitampo will be able to fire off as well as he drops Ryohei out of the equation. It's going to be Iceban now going in for the push. That Mobi walks straight in towards it, and it's way too easy for the Genie to shut him down. Mameshi takes him out of the equation, and it's now 12-1. With Iceban looking like they cannot make a comeback. Let's see if not Rohe will be able to move on forth. Yes, he does put a lot of pressure, try to take down side tempo. Molpi focuses in on him, but as Molpi focuses there, it makes it way too easy for Mameshi to take the aggressive push, and this Genie is just crushing it out there.
Wow. What a play by Mameshi on the Genie. Pulls one in. It feels like a buffet line. It is open season. The firing squad from Zeta Division. It is going for a record. They have 24 stars. 2 brawlers jump in. A Choppy jumps out. Snipes one's out. Snipes another one. Can they get the trifecta? Pulls in 30 stars with the blue stars in hand. I'm not sure what can you do with Ice Bun.
Take Poco out and stop playing him. Maybe that's what they can do, man. 32 stars now. Mopi dies again. That Poco can't do much. And yes, a Chapi literally flies in just so that they can pick up a few more of those. Unfortunate defeat here for Ice Bun, but they should have seen that coming through. I don't know what Mopi was thinking there, Uwu. What do you think the play was gonna be?
I don't know, it feels like everything breaks down after the first initiation from the side of Ice Band. They jump 3 brawlers up in front, try to go for the surprise attack, try to have the Genie able to put out damage in front. But yeah, I agree that the Poco can stay, can go as well. You can take out the Poco, you can leave the Poco in, because the Poco is going to be the one that's supporting, because there's no Byron in the game. The Byron has been taken out, has been banned out, so the Poco is the next potential that they can go for. But the way how Icebound was playing, I think it was more critical was the coordination. They went in one by one. It feels like a buffet line. Zeta Division just went in and picked up every single thing that they want. They pick up one after another. Rohe comes in, pick up Rohe, move on to another one, pick up Aaron comes in. Alright, we pick up Aaron. That is free delivery. And then the last player, Mopi tries to jump in. Oh, here comes the dessert. It's all served up. You have the appetizer, you have the main course, you have the dessert served up. What else can Zeta Division ask for? That was a perfect play for them. They just need to take things one by one, and with that, it's super textbook. Zeta Division just dissected Ice Band. It looks like the ice on Ice Band just got on ice. They got chilled, and it feels a bit of disarray. It feels was a bit chaotic from the side of Ice Band.
It was, man. Yeah.
Can they turn things around? I'm not sure.
I think they might be able to pull something off here, right? And it's not like I disagree with the Poco play at all. It is just the way the Poco was being played. The Poco wasn't being a support. The Poco was going out and it was trying to be an assassin. That Poco was failing miserably at being an assassin. There was no support play, and it was just way too aggressive. And it feels like, I guess the best example would be gambling. When you go in, you gamble something, you lose, and then you panic and you start trying to win it back, and you throw everything in, you go all in, and you just end up losing even more. That was Iceban, that was Poco. Let's, if or not, they can try to recover. Zeta Division, they've got 2 wins already. Trying to finish things off. Aaron just passing the ball over. Might get taken down. This prank's a little hard to go in for the snuff, but Zeta Division's not facing a problem at all. Calls in for the backup from Achapi. Achapi gets it done real easy. Mopi gets taken down as well. Now Mameshi needs to go in for the pass. Side Tempo has the ball with a lot of pressure onto Ryohei. One more shot can get it, but Side Tempo very smartly brings the ball away so that the players from Iceban do not have a hand on it, Uwu.
Yeah, definitely a smart play coming in from the side of Zeta Division. Oh, personal mobility. Here comes the speed boost. A Chappy holding up, but that's a good grab. It's a Mopi. Sandbag. Aaron has to run for it. Mameshi will retrieve the ball back, but where is the opportunity? A Chappy takes down Rohe. Aaron and Mopi tries to hold on to the right flank itself. Aaron holding on, defending the ball. Rohe joins back in, but where can they go? 70 seconds left. is at the right corner. Zeta Division wants the ball. Iceman will play the defense. They will not let Zeta Division to have this, especially they are putting it on the side of the frag. He is so tanky, but has to be a bit more careful. Side Temple pops it up, but the ball has been retrieved back from the side of Zeta Division. They will be able to score the goal, and goal it goes. Tempo for Zeta Division picks up the first goal. Aaron jumps, got caught, but will be brought down by Champion Mopi. Desperation comes in, chaos from the side of Iceman, and look at Zeta side Tempo with the double goal from him. Will be able to pick it up. Zeta Division scores game 1. That is 1 for them. It feels like a great defensive set for the side of Iceman, but Zeta Division just outplayed them.
I am very worried for Iceman, who I think they are very much different compared to Season 1. If anything, they've gotten a little worse. And I think it's all about the communication, right? I think there's just no unity within the team. They're moving in for those fights one at a time. And, it just seems like the teamwork has broken down on the side of Iceman. And you're not going to be able to win a game like Brawl Stars without that teamwork, man. It's just, it's such a fast-paced game. And with the composition that they brought into that match, it was quite solid. But Zeta Division, like you said, they were just outplaying them all the way through.
Yep, I think I will agree with you 50 of it, because looking at the matchup, looking at the history, just based on statistic alone, Iceman day 1 went up with Kicks, another team, Super Stack, you have Rex in it. Then day 2 alone, they went up against Covalence. It's going to be a different matchup. The skill gap is quite big. Day 3, they went up against Lil Moya G. They got surprised by Lil Moya G. Lil Moya G kind of demoralized them yesterday. And today, they have to go up against Zeta Division, another strong team. It feels like Iceman is just trying to recover their morale, try to do better. Just that the early field matchup that they have is just super stacked up against them. I don't really want to count them out yet, but
of course,
looking at the performance, I totally agree with you. It's a bit, I would say, not that impressive compared to Season 1.
Yeah, I mean, with what Ryohei just went in there to pull off, I think that actually explains exactly what I was trying to put out very easily. The players are trickling in one by one. Backup just does not seem to come. Aaron and Molpi are not there for Ryohei. Although it is granted that Ryohei, with the position he's playing, he needs to get aggressive on Mameshi. But look at that. One more shot in, Ryohei is going to get taken down already. And where's that backup coming from? They are just focusing in on the defense. Ryohei can't do anything. If anything, Ryohei needs to fall back and help out the rest of his team members. He gets taken down, and that's just going to be breaking the play for Iceman. I just feels like this is a missed priority that's being played by the side of Iceman. Ryohei just needs to back up and defend this ball a little bit.
Yep, on how Iceman is playing it, I totally agree that the priority is set, the communication is a bit chaotic. It feels like Iceman is all around the map trying their best to even do something and cover the whole floor, trying to match the firepower of Zeta Division. But Iceman, it just feels like they are just all over the place, a bit chaotic, and Zeta Division taking the opportunity, taking what they can, but can they recover? Zeta Division sitting with 1 goal in late. The ball is on the right corner. Ryohei tried to go for the retrieve, but the spike will slow him. The spike will force his health down, and Zeta feels like, oh, this is going to be interesting. Overtime.
Nice. This equalizer was all that they needed, man. But now it's all going to be into overtime. Open goal here. Let's see exactly who is able to aggress on. It's going to be a Chapi with so much. Oh! sure. And this is the play. This is the special play from Ryohei. He might have been able to get this done for the team. They put on so much of pressure and are able to aggress up at Molpi, making one mistake. He has to back away now. It has to go up down to Ryohei. Can he place enough pressure and distract?
no.
He gets taken down. One shot from Molpi should be able to finish this
what
off.
is
The
the
defense comes through. Aaron gets taken out as well. Molpi goes down.
No.
Unhappy. Are we going to see the one and only Ryohei now? And in front of the goal. Yes, yes, he gets the defense. And Molpi should be able to aggress up. It's going to be Mameshi going in for so much of pressure. Ryohei needs to make this play. Manages to get the ball. Goes in for the pass towards the corner. And this is not going to be over just yet. 9 more seconds in here. The players are falling. A Chappy. No time to push. No! 2 more seconds and Zeta gets the win.
Oh my god, that was extra time of Brawl Ball. That was so close. 5 seconds, I was so worried. Zeta Division was not able to get onto the ball at the left corner itself, and they managed to get there. A good cross to side tempo, and side tempo, easy open goal, easy score. But so close. Ice Bun tried to clutch things off, but it just feels like Zeta Division still control the tempo, still dictating the fight itself. And Ice Bun, I'm not sure. Are we asking way too much for them to put on for today, especially going up against Zeta Division? It feels, for me, I felt it's too much to ask for them because they have done their best. I think they just need to go back with Kawo.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, man. It's just a little unfortunate. Iceman, even towards the very end, finally Ryohei manages to step up, right? He steps up, he starts playing it so much better in comparison to the early parts of that matchup. And it was just not enough. You cannot start playing in overtime alone. If that sort of an aggressive, Iceman had started this matchup off, I think they could have definitely gone in and snuffed out Zeta Division. It all fell down to those mechanical plays, as we have been calling it out from the start of this matchup, as to what's going to be, mainly the difference, between these two teams. And Zeta Division just proving that they have got those mechanical capabilities to take these fights, take those wins. And those compositions have just been so clean, Uwu. Match up to match. Zeta Division just does not get it wrong.
Yep, Zeta Division, I believe, at base camp itself, they have stacks and stacks and stacks of paper with all the stats of what brawler goes well with what brawler, what is the counter, what is the possibility. They did the calculation, they did all the notes, they did all the reading that they need to make sure they come in, solidify themselves as one of the top dogs, one of the dominating teams. But I believe, talking about dominating team, we still have one team that is in mind that it could be a dominating team. We have not seen them play today because it was a walkover for them. Could they be one to take down Zeta? We have to put that on day 7. Day 7, if I'm not mistaken, is the last day itself for the round robin, if I'm not mistaken. And how is it gonna end it? Zeta Division going up against Lil Moyaji. I feel like both of us are just hyping that up to an extreme, but we have to pay attention. Iceman still have chance, still have opportunity, but Zeta Division, it feels like they have no weakness. They have nothing that can bring them down. Their ship is solid, their foundation is solid, their house is solid. What can shake them out? What team? Who can check them out? This is a question for everyone.
I think Zeta Division versus the side of Lil Moya G, Zeta Division is going to get a default win. I'm just making my prediction right now. It's going to fall into a default win for the side of Zeta Division. And I do not think Lil Moya G is going to be showing up for that matchup. And I think that's quite fair, because we started off things with Zeta Division taking a default loss against Team Flash because they didn't show up. Then Team Flash this time around, they have a few issues. So that's a default win given over to to Lil Moya G. And I feel like, you know, this will just be a favor returned back in towards the group stages. And you know, we're not going to be able to get our answers for these supreme battles until we move on into the playoffs, which makes me think the season 2 of the ESL mobile challenge for Brawl Stars. Yeah, I thought it's just going to be a couple of levels higher. No, man, it's eons further from wherever we used to be. Achapi now with the pressure going in for the pass, gives it straight to Mopi, but with a smart play, takes him out right after passing the ball to him. That was dirty, but lucky for the side of Icebarn, they had a little bit of backup there. Ooh.
Icebarn backing it up, does have the defense, putting in proper use, but Achapi gets popped. But no, Achapi pops Rohe. Rohe goes down. But side of Icebarn, they have to hold on to the ball. Zone out Momeshi. Momeshi holding on the left flank. Achapi will come in for the support. Side tempo on the right side, coming in, try to catch anyone out. But the ball still stays stationary. It has been for some time. But to talk about conspiracy theory, we have to put down hold. Momeshi walking it in.
Oh my god.
It is just an open goal. I just feel like this game just went out of the window for the side of Icebarn. Aaron gets picked up. Mopi could be the second one. They clear the ball, but side tempo is still standing tall. Momeshi had the ball. They are not even going to advance for the side of Zeta Division. They are just going to play more neutral this time.
Yeah, and that Ems is just being such a pain, not allowing Aaron or Mopi to step up. Achapi is going to be able to squeeze them out. Ems, pressure from Ems, and Ems will be able to shut down that Genie. Aaron taken down, and once again, the side tempo is going to be putting on so much of pressure, and that gas is going to be pumped all the way through, pushing Ryohei back. And 30 more seconds left onto the clock. Aaron passes the ball up front. Ryohei not able to aggress on as Achapi puts that pressure onto him. Ems trying to take Aaron out of the equation. One more pump from Ems should do it. But unfortunately for that Ems, it's going to be Aaron that fires back. Achapi now, backstab by Mameshi. Down goes Aaron, and the back and forth will not end on the side of Icebarn.
Yup, Icebarn, 10 seconds left. They need the ball, but it would not be enough. It will be hard for Icebarn just to even retrieve the ball and try to score. Congratulations to Vision as they pick up a win. They pick up 3 points into the bag for themselves. They comes in solidifying, not dropping a game. Even though the first one was a walkover, it was a technical difficulties, but they have not dropped any ball yet to anyone. But feels like Zeta Division, they are showing up. They are giving up all they have. And they are going to shut down Icebarn. They're going to shut down any teams that is going to walk up to them and tell them, no, you stay where you are. I am the top dog. I run the show. I run Brawl Stars. I am the biggest team in Asia Pacific. And they are putting themselves in that commanding position.
Yeah, and I just want to know whether or not Lil Moya G can just slap that arrogance out of them and take it away, right? Either way it goes, the Japanese, man, they really know how to duel it out in Brawl Stars. And I want to just see exactly what more we have from the side of Zeta Division. These are the highlights from that matchup, once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, of them just absolutely demolishing I guess we can say, uncomposed Icebarn, because it felt like to a certain degree they were all over the place.
Yep, totally agree with Phil. Icebarn feels like they've been chipped down to ice cube and this being sprinkled all around the sea. It's of course like just look at the positioning for Icebarn. Look at how they are moving in, jumping one in, then another. Rohe gets down. Mopi still pushing in, and Aaron, look at them. They are getting popped off one by one, and it just feels like Icebarn just going in one by one. Okay, this time coordinated, but the focus itself, the focus was on the brawler, and it's like they're just
Look at-
fighting every single left and right. Like, what is
Yeah.
happening for the side of Iceberg?
Because that Poco wasn't a support, man. Maybe if that Poco had just stayed back and played it as a support, maybe, right? Because the Byron getting aggressive versus a Poco getting aggressive, the two very different things. Byron
Yep.
should be able to manage those shots from afar. And, you know, as long as you're able to mechanically avoid those shots, you are going to be good because you're engaging from afar. Poco, he doesn't have those capabilities. That was a badly taken game. And, you know, when it went down to the brawl ball, it was pretty much a brawl all the way through. Zeta Division, they just looked for those skills. And Iceborne just made it so easy for them to take those skills back to back.
Yep, definitely agree with you. Iceborne try to match up, but Zeta Division just really strong, solidifying themselves and just putting on whatever they can. They are not afraid to go for the final brawl itself. But in the end, Zeta Division stands tall, capture 3 points,
Yeah.
and they will be moving on with a happy face. And it's going to be much more easier for some of the teams that it has already solidified themselves on top. They are much more safer, a bit more breathing space, a bit more of a breathing area. Because some of them has went up very tough matchup. Their following matchup should be and could be much more easier, not to put down any other teams, but it could be something that they have to relieve on because they really know they have solidified this amount of points in the pot for themselves, and this could be the amount of points that they can move on. But to put that in mind for everyone to put that in context, because we will be going for a short break before going into our last matchup of the day. Uwu the Magical and Mustacho. We will be going for a short break, so we'll see you guys in a bit.
Before we jump into the next one, here's a quick reminder for all of you mobile gamers out there. The ESL Mobile Open is just around the corner, so head over to Twitter right now and get all of those details. Tell your friends, build a team, and earn a spot in the finals.
Feel the lights, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the wait's up. That's how we know when we level up. Ay, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. That's how we know when we level up. Yeah, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. It's time, get up.
Before we jump into the next one, here's a quick reminder for all of you mobile gamers out there. The ESL Mobile Open is just around the corner, so head over to Twitter right now and get all of those details. Tell your friends, build a team, and earn a spot in the finals.
Feel the lights, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the wait's up. That's how we know when we level up. Ay, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. That's how we know when we level up. Yeah, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. It's time, get up.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is the day 4 of the ESL Mobile Challenge for Brawl Stars for Asia Pacific. My name is Mustachio AJ, down here with the one and only Uwu, the magical, bringing you all of the hottest action. And today, the action has indeed been hot. We started off with Covalence Reform taking a 3-1 win over Asphyxia. Although Asphyxia tried, they just couldn't overcome the unbelievable, force that Covalence brought into those matches. And Lil Moya G, they had a walkover victory over Team Flash, who had a few technical issues and were not able to make it to their series. And of course, with the series that we just concluded between Zeta Division as well as Icebarn could not take a set away. It was a 3-0 walkover, Uwu.
Yeah, that has been a very, very stacked game. I would say a very good matchup, but this is going to be another matchup that I believe a lot of people would love to see. Kicks team from Singapore going up against Crazy Lagoon from Japan. Kicks team, one of the veterans in Singapore. Meanwhile, Crazy Lagoon does have the experience to go up against Kicks team, who will stand tall. I would say 50-50, but Kicks team with Oka, Stitch, and Vex, with the stand-in of Toxic, that will be the composition of Kicks team. Meanwhile, we'll be looking at what are the top picks and the top bands that they prefer from the side of Kicks team. But regardless, it's going to be a bit more really interesting, because we're going to see Kicks team, Byron Bell Leon. This is going to be their top pick so far throughout the whole season. Top bands Shelly and Mortis. Shelly, they recognize a very, very potential threat that is Shelly. Shelly is going to be a very good initiator. It's going to be one that can deal side damage. Mortis, another brawler that's going to be really interesting. But talking about Crazy Lagoon, the team from Japan, the team that no one can put them down, Kuru, Miria, and Wahochi will be the lineup from the side of Crazy Lagoon, the top picks and the top band. Let's take a look. It will be Byron Bell and Max. Meanwhile, they recognize the Ash as a meta band. Stu is a respect band because they recognize Stu. No matter how much Brawl Star has been nerfing and buffing him, Stu could be a potential threat that you are playing it out every single matchup. And buff, nerf, Stu might be able to be making it through and making the gameplay. But let's take a look at this matchup. The band brawlers. It will be Jackie and Frank. Jackie, another brawler that you have to be careful. Kicks team, recognize that. Crazy Lagoon, very meta band. Brock and Ash.
Yeah, I like the ban on Brock. Ash, definitely a given. But the ban of Frank here, I guess they have already seen exactly what of a pain he will be at Brawl Ball, and they just want to secure it for themselves, because I don't really see the Frank doing much of a big difference within Siege mode itself, because we kind of discussed that, yes, you will be able to throw your body in. Guys, a little tanky, but he's got very low mobility, and you get to just run loops around him in that midsection of the map, and you just need a little bit of an assistance from your teammates, and you should be able to take a Frank out of the equation. But they go ahead and ban that out. I don't see that play coming through, but let's just see exactly what they make out of it. Who do you like better in terms of those blocks, Kicks or Crazy Lagoon's picks here?
Just looking at the ban itself, just Kicks team very respect ban onto the side of Crazy Lagoon, takes out some of the opportunity that Crazy Lagoon can open up. Crazy Lagoon not showing much of different ban. You're going for the meta ban itself, so it's going to be a bit much more safer. Just looking at the Frank, just discussing about the Frank, you were talking about it on Siege that do you really need the Frank to open it up, because the map is quite open. The only obstacles is the mid section alone, but it should be fine for the Siege bot to walk in. But I would agree with you that the Frank ban could be just maybe overdoing it.
Or maybe Kicks has really gone in here and done their research, right? Because, Crazy Lagoon, they definitely love bringing their Frank in. And I guess, like you said, it's not really a meta ban, but more of a ban that they take after they have watched this team perform many a times. It's gonna be 5 on the side of Crazy Lagoon with an amazing opener as well as aggression. Now they should be able to return fire, bat him out of there perhaps. This little baby Miria with the opportunistic moment to just step up and pick up bolt number 8. And it looks like Crazy Lagoon should be able to run away with this now.
Yeah, Crazy Lagoon just walking it to the park. The next Siege will be spawning. It could be a level 14, but the bus just in. Will not be enough. It will be enough for the bus to take one down. Can he take out the second one? It will be a double kill. It will be a clean wipe. Crazy Lagoon going for the reset. But the bolt is good enough. Crazy Lagoon sends out level 15. Meanwhile, Kicks team has 7 bolts. They are gonna farm up for the next bot itself. But look at the damage piled in. Look at the brawlers. They are just gonna chuck everything in. Even the kitchen sink chuck their foot onto the game because they are able to swipe Kicks team with one swipe.
That was just a one-sided matchup. I feel like, it's okay. That's warm-up round. That's absolute warm-up round for the side of Kicks team. I didn't really see a lot of those moments where they could have aggressed on. It's just, sometimes RNG plays its part in these games as well. And the side of Crazy Lagoon just way too aggressive from the get-go. And they just piled on the pressure, right? And I feel like Kicks, at a certain point, they backed away from that pressure because of, how many kills. Who was it that was actually taking it on them? The Buzz was just way too powerful in the middle, right? So he went in there for a double, and Kicks just understood at that point they will not be able to win a majority of those fights. But after that, they started being so much more cautious on the approach towards that midsection. And you can't do that, man. This is Siege. They picked the bolts up, and Crazy Lagoon, they picked up enough to just assist the Siege all the way down, and that was it, right? It was quite the GG from then on.
I feel like it's quite a GG, but I say warm-up round itself.
Yeah,
but
just warm up.
Just looking at that dominance play, you know what I have in mind and what that is giving me the fear? Could it be top 4 all Japan team?
I will not say no, because there's a high probability we might see that happening, right? It's going to be Orca this time going up. Oh, beautiful place by Kuru. This 2 is just so absolutely monumental in that mid there. Miria just hanging on with a sliver of health, will not get taken down. And Crazy Lagoon yet again picking up all of these bolts, just absolutely easy with the mechanical plays in the middle. And now they notice Orca will be able to pick one up for himself. They won't be able to pressure him off. Wex comes through with a beautiful play with that Rico, and he will be able to put on some pressure onto Crazy Lagoon. Maybe this is the time where Kicks can finally aggress on forward, Yuwu.
Yeah, Kicks, this is the opportunity for them to advance forward, but the ball it is somewhat in the lane for the side of Kicks. This could be the sign that they need, but oh no, look at that. The still picks up one on the side of Kicks. Enough bolts for the side of Crazy Lagoon. I believe that is 9 bolts, that is 10 bolts. Could be 11, but it was too late. But both still piling in another defense. Could we be seeing the same thing? Deja Vu, Vex defending alone. Vex running away. The high turret is getting hit. It's getting chucked on. Here comes the defense. They are trying the best. 17%. This time it will not be the same like last time. But Kicks suffer a lot. Crazy Lagoon. They can just chill back. They can just hold on. They can play for 40 seconds time. But Kicks team, they have to make sure that they get the next and the last siege itself.
Oh, absolutely, man. Now, can they get it? Yes, they do pick up the 10th bolt, and in 1 second, it will come through. Yes, it's a level 10 siege board on the side of Kick's team. Let's see exactly what this two can do. Trying to hold their siege back, and it will be absolutely useless. Yes, they do pile on the pressure. Orca goes in for the support as well. This might just be the potential fight here for Rico. Rico needs to go in with that support. Rico's hanging back. Vex, yes, he does put in the damage, but it's way too late. And the match is over. Crazy Lagoon, what a defense. Ooh.
What's happened? The way how Crazy Lagoon defending that siege, only 2 players was there to even defend. The Stu was not even there to defend it. The Stu got zoned out, got kited, so he has to play the mid section of the map. But there were only 2 brawlers from the side of Crazy Lagoon, just defending the siege from going down. What just happened? It just feels like you can give Kicks a level 20. I think Crazy Lagoon can even defend that. I had this feeling that Crazy Lagoon, 3-man defend, they could defend a very big siege bot. Yesterday, we have seen a curse. Maybe they want to bring that out because yesterday, twice in a row, we have seen level 1 siege bot that did at least 50% damage. A level 1.
Yeah.
You're not talking about level 10 or 11.
And it's all about how you control that bot before it can reach your safe, right? Unfortunately, in the previous matchup, what we did see was Crazy Lagoon, they assisted their bot all the way up. And whenever Kicks tried to take down their siege bot, the response from the side of Crazy Lagoon was to take down those players and assist the siege bot up and continue damaging the safe. But on the side of Kick's team, what they do allow is, okay, I've got a level 10 siege bot going up already. I'm going to allow this level 10 siege bot to go there and get the damage done. I'll come back in and finish it off. And I think that was the worst play that they could have gone in there with, because then it's just like trickling one by one. You allow the side of Crazy Lagoon to take out the siege bot and then take down your players one by one. It's just not going to work out at the end. And especially with the fact that Vex was being held back, just absolutely distracted in that mid area, not allowed to go in and deal the damage over at the safe. I feel it was just an absolute loss for the side of Kick's team. And Crazy Lagoon picked up 2?
Yep, Crazy Lagoon managed to pick up the last 2 balls.
Yes.
They managed to pick up the last 2 balls. They are able to send a level 3 siege ball down the lane. Did 22% damage. Not shabby, not too bad. A good starter. That's the first siege bot. Second siege bot coming in. Who will have it? Could it be Kicks of Crazy Lagoon? But Crazy Lagoon, their defense, their attack is solid. Kicks team having some problem, but they are playing the defense game. 5 bolts in the back. Oh, Vex goes down. That opens up a bit more of the map. Level 7 siege bot this time. Stitch will be on the stool. Try to push up. Can they go and pick one down? Level 7 siege bot still running towards it. Oka quite low, but it has reached the turret itself. It will be receiving 44%. Wow.
Oh, now this Leon, pulls it out in the right time and allows the side of Crazy Lagoon to just go in there for the attack. Vex taken down as well, and it's all being played by Wahochi. Gets a double for himself. Miria tries to look for the kill onto Stitch, but quite honestly, they don't even need to go in and over-aggress, because as long as they can make sure the players from Kicks stay behind that border, it's gonna be enough. Level 11 siege bot now being sent the way of Kicks. This is a game over already, Uwu.
I totally agree with you.
Vex and Orca, they're like, okay, just take it. We good. We're not gonna do anything. It's all yours.
Yeah, definitely. Kicks team recognize that they are unable to mount a comeback. Crazy Lagoon will pick up the first one uncontested. Can they move on to Bounty with the same morale, with the same strategy, and can they snowball out of control? Because if they can snowball out of control, here's the question that I have opened up for everyone. Lil Moya G sitting on top, Zeta climbing on top, and Crazy Lagoon season 1 they are a bit shaky. Season 2 they picked up the pace, they picked up a momentum, they are a bit more solid this time. If they are able to continue with this kind of mentality, this kind of gameplay, then I feel like a lot of teams will have a bit of problem going up against them, and they could be having the top 4 solidify for themselves. Then that's the only question left. Can Iceban join them? And then we might have 4 teams from Japan just going into playoff itself, and the other 4 teams might be eliminated. Can any of the teams from Singapore pick up the pace? Because it just feels like the team from Japan, last season it was just 1 level in difference. This season, it feels like a whole field of level has been leveled up from the side of Japan. All the teams from Japan, they've been leveling up, they've been improving, they've been putting the skill ceiling through the roof itself, and it feels like a lot of teams might have a hard time catching up. Just to match up, I see it's fine, but to catch up and surpass them, it feels like it's going to be a big challenge for a lot of teams.
I do agree with you, man, unfortunately, but I don't think it's going to be a 4 Japanese team playoff. At the very least, if there's one Singaporean team that I can place my bet on, it's going to be Team Flash. I think CZK is just a phenomenal player, although he used to drop in as the substitute in Season 1, but was just wrecking it out there. It should be quite possible for him to step up this time around as well. Team Flash, at the moment, they sit down in that 4th position, but it's not going to be very easy unless they start showing up and, of course, getting those wins for themselves. This time round for Kicks team, it is going to be ever more so difficult to aggress onto Crazy Lagoon, who are getting... And it is Wahochi that goes in for yet another takedown. Are we going to be able to see Kuruk Wahochi yet another? Can somebody stop this guy?
Yeah, I think someone just need to take the tick away from him. But there is a tick bomb. They're running around. Oh, the Genie survive, and they will go back, reset, and wait for the next opportunity. But Vex sitting quite low. Here comes the advancement from the side of Crazy Lagoon. Giving up team, sitting in a very bad position, but Vex will be able to take down Miria. There is one Orca putting down damage, but that's the stage goes down. Vex goes down. Orca has to round around, has to be a bit more careful. But Miria will be inside Crazy Lagoon. Crazy Lagoon just on, they have the lead. 18 stars with the blue stars in the hand. Kicks the 6 stars in their back. 8 more seconds. Lagoon. This could one for the road, and Vex goes down.
Oh, this is just crazy. This is just crazy stuff. Oh, back to back to back. I feel like, Kicks team, they just can't make any plays, man. They're just getting shut down by Crazy Lagoon over and over again. And Wahochi, what a player. What an MVP. What an absolute titan out there. He plays the best stick ever right now. And I'm absolutely in love with exactly how he's controlling the pace. And I think this is just an all-out GG if this continues, because regardless of which map we play at, I think Crazy Lagoon's just going to be supremely effective.
Crazy Lagoon, do agree. Feel they will keep boys from the Lagoon from season. They might have been stuck in their own Lagoon. They've been doing all the research into season 2, and season 2 merge out of the lulling everyone. This is our spot. This is Lagoon, and this is our opportunity to take it to the top. To take it as the champion. Crazy Lagoon showing potential. Can they finish it? That's the question. So, but today focus, can they finish Kicks team clean with Neil? Is going to be a very high potential.
Yeah.
Kicks really need to defend. A lot of pressure will be on the shoulders of.
Well, let's see if or not they are able to make a comeback now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's going to be Kicks team taking the aggressive push up. Stitch will be playing that tick. Now, he needs to be playing it a little bit more fairer than the side of Crazy Lagoon. This time round, they don't even want to bring the tick in for the response. Orca will be able to drop Miria out of the equation, and Orca takes Wahochi out as well. This is what we need from Kicks. As long as Orca can be making all of these plays, then I think this is going to be all good. Stitch with the play on the tick this time round should be able to put on a lot of pressure, but they are taking on a Byron who will be able to support Miria, who's going to be able to put on so much of damage onto the opposing side. Let's see how they play this, Uwu.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised that Crazy Lagoon brings out the Byron. Byron jumps up, soaks up so much damage. Has to be a bit more careful. Vex falling back. The stars difference, only 4 stars in difference, but Crazy Lagoon still have 45 seconds to try to capture that. I think they play a different composition so that they are able to counter the tick alone, but the damage output coming from the side of Kicks is able to outplay Crazy Lagoon, is able to pull brawlers in, is able to go for the sustain. Vex missed that, it will be punished off, but it will be a trade of Orca. Holding on as much as possible with the bell. It's Byron this time. I'm not sure playing the Byron is much more effective compared to Tick, but I prefer going with Tick. But this is a final charge. They get when. Can they go for more? They just need one more. The Blue Stars. Oh, they managed. Oh my God, they managed to get that and cash it away. Kicks team. Kicks team, what did they?
Yeah, so Crazy Lagoon 18 to 15, man. 18 to 15. A little unfortunate for Kicks. I thought they were able to pull it off at the very, very end, right? I mean, one final play. And I feel like they were just throwing everything in. But at the end, it was an amazing play, at least an amazing attempt by that Viper to get that final one. But it just was a little bit too late. The respawn on the tick was just a little too late as well. The tick bombs this time around weren't as powerful as Wahochi sending them around that map, man. Almost, but we need way more than that.
Yep, just because of the Byrons being brought in, it kind of set up a different composition because you have the Byron coming in. It's more of a mobility. There's more move around because the moment the tick uses the tick bomb itself, it stays stationary. It shows information. It gives information for the side of Crazy Lagoon. Alright, the tick using the tick bomb. You see the tick bomb coming in. Alright, we can push onto the right side. You can see how Byron start to shift from the left flank all the way to the middle and try to join in with their teammates and go for the push. And Crazy Lagoon capitalize that. They managed to move in synchronization, but this time Crazy Lagoon bring back the tick and I feel Wahochi is going to show off and teach Stitch how to use the tick, but Kicks team will be able to pick up the blue star, will be able to take the first blood as well. Byron will be still in the game. This time, this is going to be very, very dangerous lineup from the side of Crazy Lagoon. Kicks team might want to play a bit much more safer, a bit more passive, just mirror match whatever Crazy Lagoon is doing.
Nice. I just love how exactly Wahochi as well as Miria, they switch on over because they want to pull something else off. But Orca as well as switching over as well. I love the combination between this Bell as well as Byron. They should be able to put a lot of pressure onto that stage, just like you said, Uwu, when that little bomb comes out. And now this is that opportunity. Miria being hunted. Oh, but Stitch manages to take Miria out before getting knocked out of the equation. Beautiful plays by both sides. It's going to be a 9-8 still on the side of Crazy Lagoon.
Yeah, Crazy Lagoon just assessing the whole situation, reading Kicks team. Oka managed to pull one out, takes out Miria. That's a good choice for them as they will lose the mid anchor, but Miria joins back in. Stage capture. The Byron is gonna open up more. Crazy Lagoon has to be a bit more careful. The tick bomb comes in. They are gonna maneuver around, but they are targeting onto the other tick on the side. Crazy Lagoon, desperation point, pushes in. They will try to go. Whoa! Gets one, but can they go for more? This is the final push, and it will not be enough.
Close one, but Kicks actually gets it done. Beautiful combo, Piper as well as Byron, and this time round the tick, I don't know if he was as effective as I wanted him to be, but he was definitely a pain, man. And Crazy Lagoon, they detected the fact that, you know, they had to bring their own tick right back in here. They managed to go in here for the swap. I love how Wahochi as well as Miria, they had the communication going through. The initial plays just weren't working, but when they went ahead and switched sides, we did see the adjustment coming through from Kicks as well. We saw them immediately adapt to their situation, and Crazy Lagoon, they got caught off guard. This is their opportunity for Kicks to just stay alive in this competition. Don't know for how long they'll be able to do this, because now the chips are back on the side of Crazy Lagoon. Let's see exactly how they respond.
Yep, Crazy Lagoon, they recognize the rectification from the side of Kicks team. Yeah, able to see that that was the beauty of the game, how they move around, how they reposition. Just because of two brawlers swapping aside or making a small movement, it changed the tide of the game a bit. And Kicks team recognized the issue, change it up, but this time they are bringing the genie back. It is going to be a mirror matchup from both teams, but not a mirror pressure from the side of Kicks team. Kicks team falling back a bit. Orca just gonna fall behind. Not really sure what is happening with Orca, but it just feels like Crazy Lagoon. The immense pressure that they are giving onto Kicks team. Kicks team has to be a bit more careful.
Oh, this Genie now go backing away. Opportunity to move on in. Vex almost getting taken down there. One more shot should be enough. And look at Wahochi go in for the aggressive push and manages to pick off 2 stars off of that kill. And it's now going to be Kuro on the left-hand side. One more shot towards Okra should be able to finish this off. Miria going in for the exact same battle, but it's going to be Wahochi that finds Vex once again. And Stitch goes in for that finisher. Orca finishes off Kuro, and Miria will be able to trade Stitch right back immediately. And Crazy Lagoon, no matter how many times they go in there, they don't seem to be punished. Kuru drops Oka again, and this is just Crazy Lagoon running away with this matchup, Ovo.
Yeah, running away, but Kicks team still chasing behind 11 to 15. Kicks team still have a chance. They might be able. They need 2 more fights to able to turn things around. Orca holding on from the front, Vex on the side. Meanwhile, Stitch will bring out the tick bomb itself. It will be a trade-up tick bomb, tick for tick, but it will be stand tall for the side. Crazy Lagoon Here comes desperation. Rex jumps in, but instead will be brought down. Orca brought down as well. Stage will be able to trade things off, but it will be too late as Crazy Lagoon walk kicks him around the park and back for a win. Looks like we are gonna be on the field to decide this. We will be jumping to Brawl Ball. Kicks team, they have to pull out the full meta. They have to bring out everything they have. They have to bring out the whole stack of IQ plays up against Crazy Lagoon if they want this comeback. Crazy Lagoon, on the other hand, just keep on doing what they are doing. I feel like they are able to break down Kicks team.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Please remind me once again, who was it that banned off that Frank? Was it Kicks or Crazy Lagoon?
It was Kicks team.
Okay, so I think this will definitely be able to help them out in this next matchup. Crazy Lagoon, they won't really be able to play that, but very clearly, Crazy Lagoon doesn't really care. Anything that they play, they should be able to get the aggressive push. I have a very sneaky feeling that the Mortis is going to be in this time round. A response Stu could be brought in as well. And we've seen exactly how much of damage, I totally forgot that brawler's name, but it's okay. It's going to be down to those throwers as well, right? Because as long as they can engage from afar and make sure those players from the side of Crazy Lagoon does not aggress on them, they should be able with this matchup.
Just looking out, just going to recap onto the brawlers that got banned itself. The Frank itself, as you say, it could be a key into Brawl Ball, opening it up, but you still have a Stu. We have seen how Stu is being brought in a couple of times in Siege yesterday. We have seen how it's being brought into Brawl Ball. Just going for the rush, breaking down the wall itself could be the answer, but I feel like they might be able to go for maybe a Poco this one, because I feel like they need to sustain onto the lane. They can bring in El Primo if they want to jump towards the back line. They are able to break down the walls as well. It's going to be very wide open for the side of Crazy Lagoon.
Yeah.
They can even bring in a Buzz if they want to, because the Buzz is still open up for them. But for the side of, it's going to be interesting on how they are going to bring in Crazy Lagoon when quite meta. Stitch goes on to the hand for Kicks team. Kicks is going to play the mobility. Meanwhile, Crazy Lagoon is going to play the defense play.
Now let's see exactly who will be able to pull this off. We do have a Stu on the side of Kicks team. Backs away. Beautiful takedown onto Hochi. And it's going to be Vex who backs away from this Ems. One more shot from Vex should be enough. Vex plays it off and takes Ems out of the equation. What a takeover from Kicks and a well-deserved early goal.
Yeah, well-deserved early goal from the side of Kicks team. This is the advantage of playing mobility. You're able to move around the map super fast, much more easier, and Crazy Lagoon will be caught off by this, but Crazy Lagoon defense very high, able to withstand as much damage as they get caught from the back, and definitely is going to be a problem. Orca able to pop off Crazy Lagoon side. Stitch really deep, able to flank out anyone, is able to zone and guide the whole tempo for his team, but if Stitch gets caught out, Orca and Vex will get punished very badly.
Oh, what a pass by Vex, spotting out the danger, immediately drops it back towards his own goal, and now Stitch puts it in the lower bottom corner. It's going to be Kuru who snuffs him out. One pass to Miria should be able to finish this, but Kuru doesn't even want that. He walks it into the goal, and Crazy Lagoon takes one back.
Yeah, Crazy Lagoon, confidence of just walking into the goal, because they know only one brawler will be back. They will be not contesting it. They have to take down the brawler itself. So Crazy Lagoon take that opportunity to go for it, but this time a once-man look at how aggressive is Crazy Lagoon. Orca the only one alive, but the goal will be good enough as Crazy Lagoon just brings in the ball into the goal.
Oh,
And this is the thing about Crazy Lagoon. They are able to play the defense. Just wait up
Yep.
for the side of Kicks team to move
Yeah.
in with the mobility. Kicks on the other side, they only have the mobility to play with. They have the damage to take down the brawlers, but after
Yeah.
that, they have to reset back a bit more to before going in for the attack and try to score a goal. Unless they are able to systematically take down the brawler one by one, so that the brawlers spawn back one at a time. That was the
Yeah.
only opportunity that Kicks team can walk it in.
yeah. I feel like, I really like the ideation coming in from Kicks, but you are right, Uwu. Those takedowns need to be very much cleaner. They need to be set up, but they're not going to be able to get it off a defensive Crazy Lagoon. You've mentioned it already. You go has got the setup to back away, sustain all of the damage, and then catch you off guard. And it's going to be down to those mechanical plays at the end of the day as well for them to be able to take that, right? And then you combine that with the IQ plays that Crazy Lagoon brings into these matches. I mean, that final goal itself shows exactly how well they control this. They know how much of damage they can sustain. They go all the way through. Easy goal for Crazy Lagoon. I don't know if or not Kicks has got exactly what it takes to make a comeback in here. But let's see. One more matchup. Let's see if Crazy Lagoon can finish it off or Kicks team making that comeback.
Yeah, I would say two more
Yeah, two
rounds
more,
of Brawl Ball. But this is all up to the side of Kicks team. Oh, still Byron being brought in by the side of Crazy Lagoon. A
Oh,
switch
Stu.
offside,
Oh,
but
wow.
Stitch able to sustain. Just because of Orca and Vex
Oh.
positioning, it was
Oh,
so
my.
on point. Stitch has the mobility to able to score that, but it was caught off guard. Crazy Lagoon was caught off guard. They didn't expect the advancement from the side of Kicks team to be super aggressive. It's going to be a matchup of three on the left side. It will be a kill. Byron and the still will be in the game, but Miria will be brought down, leaving Byron alone. Vex, Orca, Stage pushing up. They have the mid game in control. They can turn things around. Byron sitting fairly quite in front. The Stu is not in position yet. Crazy Lagoon will play the positioning. That's one down. That's a bit of window of opportunity. Stitch moves up, runs back in for safety. Vex try to push in, try to zone the brawlers from the side of Crazy Lagoon from not getting the ball itself, but Miria holding onto the right flank. Here comes the Stitch. Try to put on the pressure. Oh, Miria getting a lot of damage, has to back out. Vex as well has a lot of damage done, but oh, Vex, could it be a mistake? Sending the ball into the hand, that gives the opportunity a bit of advantage for the side of Crazy Lagoon. A trade happens on the right hand side. Stitch has the ball, clear is off, but can it be a clean takedown by Stitch? Yes, it will be one!
Oh, beautiful man. And now 35 seconds left of the clock. Stitch just backing away. Miria, the pressure is on. Vex can go in and finish Miria off, but just buys a little bit too much of time. Miria goes in for the flight, punishes Vex as he does not back away in time, and it's just going to be the play. One final defense by the side of Orca, trying to take Miria out of the equation. Stitch needs to fall back and take this two out as well, but Byron's just keeping him busy, and it is going to be Bahochi going in for the pressure. Orca steps up, taking out Kuru. Vex drops Miria, and this is the opportunity. More seconds in here. They need to run the ball up. Are they going to be able to pull this off? Opportunity. One more second. And the game is over. What a final second goal that I don't know if they managed to take. I didn't even see it.
The final goal was not counted. It was just right in time for match was over. But Kicks team, the lineup remains. Crazy Lagoon tried to match up the lineup, but it was a bit off just because of the Byron itself being played in the center. Was playing quite up front. Gets zones out, has to reset every single time whenever he gets zones out. So it puts Crazy Lagoon in a situation where they don't have that Byron on support all the time. They don't have that Byron in position to get in for the heals on time. So might swap out the Byron for something else, for something much more sustainable into the lane itself. So we have to wait for Crazy Lagoon to pick up. But well played from Kicks team, remain to what they have. They play the mobility. That's how you play it. Get in, go in fast. It's basically they are fast and furious. They went in, they put on the ship, they put on a goal, and they went in for the full defense. That is how you're gonna play it from the side of Kicks team. Meanwhile, Crazy Lagoon, if they still want to play the Byron, positioning is going to be very important for the Byron. If they are not going to play the Byron, it's going to be a good swap out for different brawlers. They still have 2 more for them to pick it up, so they might be able to experiment with one brawler, because it's just right now tie to tie, 1-to-1 in Brawl Ball. Still, there is chance for Crazy Lagoon to test something out, but for the side of Kicks team, no more testing. It's going to be all out, and it will be a swap out of the Byron itself.
And now it's still going to be, that little unfortunate cactus gets blown up, but Stitch is still alive. Well played. And it's going to be an absolute pressure now. Spike versus Spike down onto the left. We are going to have that Bell aggressing, but a well-scored goal by Byron. Kuru, the man who gets it done. Now Orca could not hold him back. Stu was just too much of a pressure for them to go in for the fight. It's going to be that Spike with that pressure onto that left-hand side again. And Wahochi should be able to assist Miria to take Vex out of the equation. Another easy goal perhaps on the side of Crazy Lagoon. The setup is good and they take it. What a goal. What a victory. Such an easy one in this 3rd round.
I'm not sure why Kicks team swap up their lineup. I felt like the previous lineup was way much more solid. They could just stick with it. I'm not sure why they pull out the Byron on Orca itself. It's like, is it unnecessary to pull it out? Even though they play with the Spike itself, it's already proven they were able to take down the Byron. Why do you bring out that weakness onto your team? Why do you bring out that pothole that is in front of you onto your side? Like, it just opens up yourself to the side of Crazy Lagoon to end the game much more faster.
Yeah, it's just an unfortunate rock, paper, scissors moment where they just went in there, they put all of their bet onto one option. But obviously the switch didn't turn out their way, right? They expected, potentially Crazy Lagoon to bring in a different side as well, based on, I guess, one of their previous research, but it just didn't go their way. It was a bad call from Kicks, but I like to see that they are not going in with they're not that one-trick pony, right? They're not going to go in with the exact same lineup and continuously try to win these rounds, because they are going to get punished for it. So overall, Kicks has got the right ideology moving into these matchups, but they're just being punished by a very, very sound team in the form of Crazy Lagoon. Once again, who Crazy Lagoon is in Season 2 in comparison to Season 1, they are worlds apart, Uwu. And I don't think this is something that Kicks can, sort out in this matchup itself. They need to do more homework on how to plot their destruction against the side of Crazy Lagoon. Hopefully, if they make it through to the playoffs.
Yep, definitely. Kicks team would love to go into the playoff, and they would love to get their revenge onto Crazy Lagoon, but I feel like Crazy Lagoon is not going to give that opportunity. The same lineup comes up from the side of Crazy Lagoon. Meanwhile, for the side of Kicks team, they will repeat the same thing, but Stage will be able to ball. God save by the side of Crazy Lagoon. Here comes the advancement. Here comes the move on from the side of Crazy Lagoon. They have the advancement. They are safeguarding the ball. They are zoning the brawlers from the side of Kicks team. One goes down. Orca could be the next one. They bring down the walls, and there you go. Goal. I feel like another goal from the side of Crazy Lagoon could be coming in real soon.
Yep, this too. Stitch is playing quite well, but Kuru's just outplaying him, unfortunately, outmaneuvering him as well. One more shot onto Kuru. Stitch takes it well, and the firing from that bell could just end this. And it will be the side of Wahoji bringing in the unfortunate Spike, who's just being such a tanky defense on the left-hand side, backing away from Wex, who's taking all of these shots really well. Miria surviving, and it will be that pressure play from Stu once again, and Vex gets taken out by Wahochi. The opportunity for Crazy Lagoon to aggress on forth is not up just yet. They need to take the Stu out of the equation.
Yep, they definitely need to take down stage, but Orca and Vex just opened themselves up quite in the open stage, just holding himself into safety. Vex drops down. That gives them the opportunity to walk up in front stage, trying to zone themselves into safety. Orca gets the ball stage.
Oh, bad
no,
pass.
Orca drops down stage as well, drops down. Miria playing safety ball. They will safeguard this ball with their life. They will not let anyone from the side of Kicks team to touch it. They are protecting Mr. President. They are protecting the ball at all costs. Save the ball, save the game as they pick up the point that they need to grab the 3 point, the sweet 3 points as Crazy Lagoon celebrate against Kicks team. They pick up a win.
Yeah, it was just super solid on the side of Crazy Lagoon. The stew from the side of the opponents just could not do much at the end of the day. And Kicks team, no matter how much they tried, man, they just got outplayed again and again and again. And all the way down to the end, Crazy Lagoon, they know exactly when to pull back. Their trigger discipline is most definitely there. And when they choose to go in for the finisher, they almost always are so good at getting it done, right? Even to the way how they took the previous goal, it was super solid, very well planned and executed. Kicks, on the other hand, we can see the planning, but in terms of execution, it just seems to be falling short. Ooh.
Yep, definitely Kicks team falling a bit short-handed on offensive and defensive, but Crazy Lagoon season 1, season 2, a very huge difference, much more disciplined, much more organized of a team. You can see when they start things off on stage how they were aggressing. Look at how solidifying, how much of an activity that they have, just holding on the stage spot itself and putting on the damage. Look at this. They move in together, they support the siege spot, they go onto the eye turret and they just bring it down. Moving on to Bounty, it was on Purple Paradise, it was open up in the open. The Tick was the playmaker. Basically it's a brawl maker. Tick alone was able to secure so much kill for both sides. Both Kick and Crazy Lagoon has been securing quite a lot for a lot of this team. We might be looking at a Tick nerf upcoming due to what is happening here, but Crazy Lagoon and Kick's team rotation, brawler movement was on point. It was so beautiful to look at it, but the moment when they move on to Brawl Ball, it feels like Kick's team trying to match up to what Crazy Lagoon has, and the moment we saw the Byrons being brought up, Crazy Lagoon dropped the game to the side of Kick's team. Then Kick's team brought the Byron onto themselves, and it somewhat feels like they kind of jinx it to themselves and kind of open up themselves to the side of Crazy Lagoon.
Yeah, but at the end of the time, it was just a play from so aggressive. And, you know, we thought that the spike might not be super effective on the left-hand side, but Crazy Lagoon shows us exactly how wrong that is, right? On the defense as well as the offense, that spike was just so effective on the left-hand corner. And they just managed to take goal after goal. Stu as well as Spike, the perfect two flankers. You leave that Byron in that center point or, replace it out with the Bell. It's going to do you either way a huge favor with all of that range. And at the end, Crazy Lagoon just shows us exactly who that supreme team within this competition is when you compare them against Kicks. And unfortunately for Kicks, they just got kicked down a few notches.
Yeah, Kicks will definitely feel a bit in tonight because they just drop it to Crazy Lagoon. Tomorrow they might wake up a bit sore, but don't put themselves too much down because I feel like it's a lesson. It's a day where they take this lesson and move on forward. But most important, I think we want to move on to the standings and see who is sitting on the top four. Because the top four is going to be very interesting to see because could it be majority Japan? And it is Little Moya G, 12 points, 4 wins. Zeta Division, 3 wins, 1 loss. The 1 loss because they were unable to attend the game and they have to walk over and give the points to another team. Zeta Division 9 points. Crazy Lagoon, Kicks and Team Flash ties up together with 6 points on the 3rd, 4th and 5th place. Meanwhile, on the 6th, 7th and 8th place is a tie-up between Covalence, Reform, Iceban, Asphyxia. Now, here's the question. We have played 4 games. 3 more games to go. 9 more points to pick up. Who will be able to pick up those 9 points? I believe Kicks Team, Team Flash, Covalence Reform, they are looking for their Iceban and Asphyxia definitely has to fight and must win all 3 of the last 3 games.
Yeah. The one thing that I can definitely see here is Lil Moya G, Zeta Division, Crazy Lagoon, they are trying to solidify, in fact, guarantee their spot at the playoffs, which only leaves us 1 more spot for one of these 5 teams to pick up. And Team Flash obviously will be looking for it. Kicks team, based on the performance in here today, they look like, they're not going to be the super favorites. But we've seen the side of Iceban from the previous season. This time around, it's the exact opposite in comparison with Crazy Lagoon. Crazy Lagoon took it a few steps up, and Iceban took it a few steps down. And that's going to be my main concern. Japanese final, right? Because they're just not waking up. Asphyxia suffering at the very bottom. But yeah, it's going to be a very, very tough fight in here, Uwu. Who do you think between the 5 at the bottom now is most fit in terms of mechanical plays to pick up that 4th spot?
I'm not to put down any of the team at the from the 4th to 8th place, but I'm gonna stick with my prediction. I'm gonna stick with my word that it could be, and I have a feeling, I had a gut feeling, I've seen into the magical future. It could be for Japanese team gonna compete in the playoff itself. It could be a very matchup that I think gonna be very hard for a lot of the. I believe that Team Flash and Kicks team might have a chance to get into the top 4, but they have to ensure the Iceban will not win the next 3 games. They have to ensure they are able to pick that 3 games up for themselves and get that 9 points. And that is my prediction, that the 4 teams that is moving it up could be the 4 Japanese team. That is what I have, and that I am going to hold it on till the end of the play days itself. That is what I have for you.
Yeah, fair enough, man. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you enjoyed the action in here today, do not forget, all throughout October, you can witness the top teams in the challenge season every single Tuesday as well as Wednesday. Don't forget to join us this October. All of the action just for you. This is the ESL Mobile Challenge, the 2nd stage. You guys already witnessed the ESL Mobile Open, and after this, what are we gonna do? We're just gonna continuously build it up. This is season 2, as we can see, Uwu. It's not just us saying it, but the teams out there proving it. They have grown so much.
Definitely agree with you. The growth from season 1 to season 2 is so apparent. Season 3, could we see some of the underdog teams? I'm just thinking, could Kasa's Lifeline?
Oh,
We're gonna bring this back. Could Kasa's Lifeline make it through to ESL Mobile Challenge in season 3? Could that happen?
absolutely, man. Kasas Lifelines, if you guys are watching this, I know you guys are watching this. We want to see you guys in here for season 3. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's been an exciting day. Thank you so much for allowing me, Mustachio AJ, as well as Uwu the Magical, to bring you guys all of this hottest action. Everything continues on next week. We're going to be signing off. See you there.
Before we jump into the next one, here's a quick reminder for all of you mobile gamers out there. The ESL Mobile Open is just around the corner, so head over to Twitter right now and get all of those details. Tell your friends, build a team, and earn a spot in the finals.
Feel the lights, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the wait's up. That's how we know when we level up. Ay, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. That's how we know when we level up. Yeah, that's how we know when we level up. Level up.